gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Señoras y señores, live. It's time!
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? I hope you're enjoying your evening. We are live in the Action Lab, your premier sports and entertainment talk show on the internet, and it's not even that damn close. We are here with you on a Wednesday night, which means we have an absolute jam-packed show for you. And you know what? I mean, if Scotty wasn't late, we would be jumping right in. We got so much to get to, but we got Rec here, clean shaven Rec. Look at this. He popped on in the background, and I was like, Rec, you must be getting ready for some dates or something. Must be having, like, you know, some ladies reaching out to you. We're gonna need to get a screenshot of this picture. Chat, can you get a screenshot of Rec and put it in the Discord? We need to upgrade some of his photos for the dating profile. So guys, screenshot Rec, give him a smile, let's get a screenshot there. You see, you know, he's cheesing. Throw it in the Discord for him. Cuban's hyped about it. What's up, everybody? What's up, Harps? How we doing? Harps like, what? What's going on? Cuban. See, there you go, Cuban. Hey, he'll hit it.
It's spicy.
Getting spicy over here, Cuban. I like it. Welcome in, everybody. Keep close, Riley. Rex chilling with me here as in the co-host seat for the moment until Scotty gets done with what his stuff he's got going on. We got Nick in the house, Cuban, Harps, D-Cola, all of you guys. So welcome in. Everyone's kind of going to be trickling in here little by little, but great to have you guys early on in the show. This is already a great start when Rec is here before Scotty. Yeah. I mean,
this is what you call a normal stream.
Scotty's running
wing on these guys.
He's running solo tonight with the kiddos, so he's got his hands full. You know that. I mean, that's his job, though, right? That's the job that he's been given. He's stay-at-home dad. He cleans the house. He wears. You know, it wouldn't shock me if he wore like the little maid's outfit. You know, walking around the house cleaning and stuff. You know, I mean,
Harrison Butker's worst nightmare.
Harrison Butker's worst nightmare. Exactly. So Scotty will be here. Don't worry. So yeah, we have a lot to get to tonight, though. We have 2 water cooler topics we're going to get to. We have some we're going to bust out the Action Lab phone and scroll through a couple posts tonight. So we'll get to that in a little bit. And we're also going to get to our Week 12 NFL preview and best bets. So you are not going to want to miss any of it. That's a fire show, if I've ever heard one. So, Riley, that's the image I did not need in my head. It's true. Yep. Well, you're welcome. You are welcome. So we're going to get to all that tonight. It's an absolutely loaded show. I hope you guys are ready. Go get your popcorn, you know, and we're going to have some fun with it. But to open up the show, actually, before we got on the show, I was keeping an eye on some college basketball. I got my Gonzaga Bulldogs in action against Long Beach State, you know, and a nice little boring blowout for my Zags. They're up 44 to, what is it? What was the last final score? 44-25 right now with 17 minutes left. So they're taking care of business, but it gets tougher. So West Virginia, Kentucky, then number 2 UConn. Ooh, that number 2 UConn's going to be insane. I haven't even actually looked at UConn's schedule ahead. If there's any games they might be playing that might be. They have number 13 Baylor. Number 13 Baylor on what date is that? That's the 4th, December 4th. Geez, we're getting into December. That's crazy. Is that right? Yeah, December 4th.
Yeah. December's in a little over a week.
That's crazy. And then meanwhile, Gonzaga plays them December 14th. So it's still a little ways away. I hope UConn can be there. I hope UConn can be in that number 2 spot by the time we get to that time. So anyways, I've been watching some college hoops, keeping up on what's going on there. Otherwise, college football, we're going to get into that a little bit. Lots of college football action that I'm excited to talk about. Scotty's super excited. He DM'd me earlier on today saying, hey, make sure we have a college football segment. And it was already in the works anyway. So there we go. It's not the image we needed. It's the image we deserved. Yes. See, Cuban's got you. Cuban's got you. SDG.
Scotty, he's banned.
Yeah. We banned him. He was
finally.
It took us a while, but we finally got there. He's the second banned person in the history of the show. No, he's
and he still has to buy. He's still gonna have to buy himself a jersey for losing the Action Lab contest.
He is actually putting his kiddos down. He is running solo tonight. Yeah, Rec probably will be banned by 10 minutes into the show. So there's that. Actually, we're 12 minutes in. You're 2 minutes past your allotted time.
Yay.
You're breaking records, Rec. But welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Rec, I think you said you had some news that was kind of breaking before the show started. Rec, what news? Running solo?
Oh, yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much running solo.
This is from college football. The worst team in the league, Kent State. They just got their shit kicked in by Akron, who really, even if you're in the FCS, you shouldn't get beat by them. Now there's conspiracy theories going around that the head coach is gambling on his own team to lose to make up for some serious debt he's in. Earlier today, it was found that he was, I forgot the exact wording, but he's in court in Ohio for $24,000 worth of credit card debt. There's all kinds of little things that are don't make a whole lot of sense around the football team. And go all the way back. Hang on, I had this.
It's basically Bishop Sycamore college edition. Is that what we're talking about? Cuban's favorite team on earth?
Yeah. So one of the other things was that apparently he was withholding injury information from the public to kind of get some better lines on these games. The quarterback was never on the injury report he was supposed to play, and then he misses the game due to injury, and they lose by 28 to Akron, which no team should ever lose by that much to Akron.
So you're saying I need to find out what lines he's betting, and I need to just jump on all of them, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, let's cash in, ladies and gentlemen. I'll cash in on some betting lines. Let's do it. Rec, find me the feed. Oh, Scotty. I love how it automatically just pops Rec off the screen. That was.
To be honest, I was not ready for that.
That
just loaded the camera, and all of a sudden, here I am. I thought there was gonna be usually there's oh, hold on a second, guys, Scotty's here. Let me get him, bring him in. No,
you're in. You're in
for the long haul.
By the way, Rec's got real quick, Scotty, look at Rec right here. He's cleaned up. He's got. Look at how he's
all of a sudden with the whole dating app.
Yeah,
it's more for my new job.
Sure. Get a screenshot, guys. Maybe we need it for the profile. Get a screenshot right now. We need it.
Is Odd Shopper on camera?
It could be. There are options.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So Rec.
Look at him.
Keep close. It actually does
Growing
look
up
good,
before us.
Rec. Actually does look
Yeah.
good.
Could have just kept out the actually does, but sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
Looks good, Rex.
you know, we're about supporting each other here. Yeah, it's like it actually looks good. Welcome in, Scotty. How are the kiddos? They get down okay? No,
To be full disclosure, the youngest wasn't fully asleep, and I'm like, I can't just do this. So we'll see how that goes.
If we hear screaming and crying, we know what happened.
I might not be. You said I was in it for the long haul, Wreck. I may not be. I don't know.
What's
He
up,
just gets this,
Medusa?
And I'm like, buddy, go to sleep. And he gets this smirk on his face, like he knows exactly
He-
what he's doing.
He's playing the game. He's playing the
Right.
game. All right. So, well, we have a lot to get to tonight. So we're gonna dive right in. Now I have Scotty doesn't know. Well, Scotty doesn't know that. Great song too. I have some clips ready for our Action Lab phone that we're gonna bring up some apps, a couple videos on that. We have a couple cooler topics that we're gonna get to that I know, Scotty, you wanted to talk about college football. We're gonna get into that and a couple other little topics, and then we're gonna get into week 12 of the NFL slate, all of our best bets, everything that you need to know. We're approaching Thanksgiving, guys. We're gonna be doing a Thanksgiving special next week. That'll be a lot of fun. Scotty won't. I think Scotty's gonna be somewhere out of the country.
I'm gonna be out for a bit. I'm gonna miss a couple shows because I'm gonna be in Mexico. For
Yes. No big deal. Scotty, he's retired now. This is how it works when you're retired.
This is what you do.
Yes. So he's just relaxing.
RELAX.
That's what Rogers needs to do with firing everybody.
All right, guys. So do we want to start the show with our Action Lab phone on a couple quick clips? Or do we want to dive into our water cooler? Let me know real quick in the chat. The first couple responses I will just go with. And then from there, we'll get into the week 12. But unemployment has great vacation days. Yeah, I mean, the PTO on unemployment is unlimited.
I mean,
It's
to be fair,
unlimited.
A lot of companies offer unlimited PTO. Mine really isn't unlimited PTO because a lot of my vacations involve my kids following me. So that's not actually PTO. That's actually extended time on. I'm like the nanny that goes on a trip with the family and watches the kids.
And how much you getting paid for this?
$0.
Zero. You're not cashing in, man. You're not.
And I guess I get paid somewhat, but not directly.
The PTO is 0 when unemployed. Yes.
Scotty's going to Mexico while it's easy to still get back across the border. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Also, by plane helps. You can get over that wall if you're going by plane. Turns out.
So yeah, so Scotty gonna be missing a couple shows coming up, but we're gonna keep rolling with it. But anyways, let's dive in. Guys, hit that follow button if you're new to the channel. Make sure you're hitting us each and every single Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday night. Thursday night is NBA Power Hour. I got my first power rankings of the season tomorrow, so we're gonna go over that, and we're gonna talk through Scotty. There's did you see the new NBA All-Star format?
I heard talks of them, something about like 4 teams and like a little tournament style.
Yeah, it's I kind of am intrigued with it. It's 4 teams, and the fourth, so 3 of the teams are going to be already set from the All-Stars, and then winner of the freshman sophomore game or rising star game is going to have a team playing. Then they want to make it more competitive. I'm intrigued by it. I think it could be interesting. So we'll see. We'll see if they end up, making it happen and try something different.
I'm fine with that.
Nothing else is working.
It was
So
a disaster last year. So just a disaster.
nothing else is working. So anyways, we'll talk NBA tomorrow, and we had a great crew coming on NBA Thursday night power hour. So make sure you join us tomorrow for that. Otherwise, let's dive into the water cooler. Rec, can you put the Discord and the social links in the chat for everybody so they know exactly where to find us everywhere else? But let's dive in. First off, we have there's no love in Philly right now, Scotty. No love in Philly because this past week, I don't think there's a guy in Philadelphia that's, well, you could argue the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles might be one of the more disliked people in Philadelphia.
He's like weirdly liked in Philadelphia. They're dumb.
Well, Joel Embiid is getting some interesting feedback from his teammates, basically getting called out after a team meeting because they have had an abysmal start to the season. They are dead last in the Eastern Conference with 2-11 record, dead last in the bad Eastern Conference behind the Wizards, the Raptors, the Hornets, and the Bulls. It's that bad.
Bruh.
The Sixers are a mess, and they had a team meeting after the game the other day, Scotty, and they had a lot to say. They got a lot off their chest, and most importantly, and most notably, Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid in this team meeting, saying you need to start being on time to things because you're late to everything. It's a bad look. It's a bad message to the team. And it's just we need you to actually care. And so now we're going to look at, what it's going to look like moving forward. Right now, they're losing to Memphis 115-109. And I don't know if, let me see. Is he even playing?
Embiid's playing, but it gets better. Guess who got hurt tonight for them?
Did Joel Embiid get hurt?
No, not Joel Embiid.
Tyrese?
He'll be out. No, the other guy.
Paul George?
Paul George hyperextended his knee.
Another one.
He's hurt again.
The knee that he zestily hurt early on in the season? Is that the same one?
Probably. It's his left knee. I don't know which one he hurt before, but they're about to go to 2-12. What a train wreck.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, does Embiid get moved? Does he get traded?
I mean, it wasn't on my bingo card going into the season. It wasn't. I mean, this was.
No, I don't think it was on anybody's.
And I mean, obviously, we've been talking about Giannis. That was on my bingo card potentially, with him being disgruntled and wanting out. They've kind of turned things around a little bit, so they're looking a little bit better. But Joel Embiid, at this point, you're looking at this team. I think if you're going to side with one person on this team, it's crazy to think that you would actually probably prefer Tyrese Maxey, who's a star player in the NBA, and he actually cares about winning and being a part of this franchise and takes it seriously. And if you're a Philadelphia fan, I think, as crazy as it sounds, what has Joel Embiid done for you? Gotten you to the second round of the playoffs? So, we're talking about the second round of the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I just... You might be right. It might be a chance for...
And what better fit? Obviously, Embiid is at a point where he doesn't want to play a lot of minutes, doesn't want to get a lot of wear and tear. What better fit then, Chris? Him coming over to the Nuggets. He can back up Jokic.
I was thinking about
He can get his 15 minutes a game. All right.
Yeah.
Spot duty. We need a little more depth on our roster. Joel, come on over here and be our like 7th man.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. I mean, we just need him in spot moments, right? He could be the best backup center. I'll take it. Give him enough rest. Jokic ends up playing most of the minutes anyway. He's the superior player. So yeah, why not? It actually did cross my mind. It was kind of funny.
My only concern is, along with that, he doesn't play in Denver, so I don't know if that means he's missing all the home games when he's on our team as well.
He's missing all.
So that's something that I'd be concerned about.
It's the opposite of Bronny James. Opposite. He only
he's
plays
only gonna play
on the road. Yeah. And be gone after the season. Read that stat again. It's nuts. Jordan Poole has a higher win share than Embiid and Paul George combined so far for this season.
Bruh.
That's crazy. That's pretty insane.
We've always loved Jordan Poole here. Nuggets will still be bad with Embiid. Get out of here, Nick. Get out of here. Nuggets bad. I mean, we just gotta get Yoke back. It's fine. He'll be back next game.
Which, by the way, he's supposedly gone for a baby being born. I didn't see anything in the news until like yesterday, and even then, I was like, this doesn't feel like the best source from where it's coming from.
I heard that prior to him definitely being out, it was he had a baby boy, Chris, but he's a very private person. He doesn't want it put out there for whatever reason, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the man had his wife, I should say, had a baby. That's why he's been out. It's fine. He'll be back for Dallas on Friday night in Denver. He'll be back, guaranteed.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to see if I could get this fixed real quick. See if I can fix your frame rate here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I love it when I see seconds per frame as opposed to frames per second.
Glitch on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a me problem or a internet problem on your side. I don't know. Either way.
No, because on the side camera video, I'm moving great, Chris. Everything's I couldn't be quick movements, and everything's keeping up.
Weird. I don't know. Videos. Let me see if I can.
Just another chance for you to sabotage me on this stream, Chris. It's a tale as old as time. It's fine.
Tale as old as time. Frame rate. Oh, that makes it way worse. Let me go ahead, fix that. Refresh. Let's see if that does it.
Yeah, Memphis just beat Philly.
Everybody beats Philly.
Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. All right. So, so trouble in Philly. Mike, I guess my last question is, where do they finish? Do they, I mean, they don't, do they make the playoffs? I don't think they do. At this point, where they're at.
You have to keep in mind that, like, the tendency to make the play-in, you just got to win probably, like, you don't even have to win half your game, much less your game. So they could still certainly make one of those. Right now, it's the 10 spot is 6-9. So draw that out for a whole season. What is that? That's like 34 wins, 33 wins. Like, it's not a lot of wins.
That's tough. That's tough. Anyways,
so
look,
I hope not, though. I hope they just crumble.
I
don't want them to be terrible and get like the number 1 overall pick or something, but just be like, the 6th worst team in basketball.
Yeah. So give me. Now you can't hear Scott. Now it's all over the place. Hold on. Let me fix. There we go.
I am speaking into the microphone.
There we go.
I'm being sabotaged.
Let me adjust your volume here and see if that helps. All right.
Obviously, Video Ninja wants me back.
I guess something's happening. All right. let's get to the next item of business. That has to do with the New York Jets, who are also a mess. The New York Jets had some interesting news, by the way. They Jets owner, by the way, on this one, supposedly September 30th, had a meeting or a call where Woody Johnson, owner of the New York Jets, called a meeting with his top football people. In that meeting, Johnson was concerned about the direction of the team and broached the idea of benching quarterback Aaron Rodgers, where it was kind of weird because some people were like, there were some different reactions, according to some reports. Someone attended the meeting, said it was like, kind of a playful type of thing where it's just like, just throwing it out there, not really much behind it. While others were like, yeah, I think he really wanted him benched. But then there was also some sentiments like, if Woody really wanted him benched, it would have happened. So interesting things happening there. Either way, they just ended up firing their GM, Joe Douglas. So that ended up being one of the moves that was made. But Rodgers survived, regardless of what was happening behind closed doors. The Jets are 3-8, one of the NFL's worst disappointments. So, Scotty, I mean, benching Aaron Rodgers.
I have to believe this was in jest because, like, where are they going to turn? Like, you invested everything in Aaron Rodgers. At the end of September, they're not moving on from him. Now, however, Woody Johnson also is an idiot, and it's not a surprise that the Jets have the longest playoff drought in all of football because he inserts himself into conversations that he should just stay out of and be the owner of the team and not try and push on the football side, the roster side of things. He doesn't know what he's doing. Clearly, I mean, and maybe what probably happened is Joe Douglas told him that, and he was like, all right, you're gone. Like, that's all I can imagine. I mean, I think Joe Douglas actually can be a decent GM in this league. But yeah, I don't know who's going to want to go and be GM when Woody's involved in all this stuff. Jets are a mess because Aaron Rodgers could be gone after this year. They have nowhere to turn. They're not probably going to be bad enough to get like a number one pick to like reboot with a quarterback. Not that they'd even do that if like, can you imagine Rodgers being on a roster again and them taking a first round QB? That'd be funny. But I don't know. Both Rodgers and Woody are idiots. The Jets are a mess, just like they are every season. But I don't think he could have possibly said that seriously. And if he did, he should sell the team right now. Because that doesn't make any sense. As bad as Rodgers has been, like, you invested everything into this. You can't just after like 3 weeks be like, what if we bench him?
Yeah. It's just crazy to me to think that like there's just so much dysfunction. Starts with Aaron Rodgers on the field, and it goes all the way up through the entire organization. I mean, you see all these rookie quarterbacks over the last handful of years that have struggled and then gone elsewhere and actually been successful. It's crazy. So, anyways, more issues.
Even then, who are the Jets going to draft if they get a top 5 pick? But they're going to go out for Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders? Like, who are they going to get? And who's actually going to make this team watchable?
It's not watchable right now. It's not watchable. Cuban says the owner must be on ayahuasca to think that. Yeah, that's it's. I guess. He's now Aaron Favre. Yep, pretty much.
Roger.
I wouldn't bench Rodgers either, but he's old. He's washed. He's a cancer to a locker room. I mean, those are so Nick. I would say if you told me there's a quarterback that's old, washed, and cancer to a locker room, I'd be like, why is he in the locker room? But again, the decisions that this organization made put him there. They can't get rid of Rodgers after just 2 seasons, but with that contract, sincerely, Russ. Basically. So there you go. There's a couple stories for you in the water cooler, just that were floating around this week. So there you have it. Want to get to a couple others here. By the way, I'm on Video Ninja trying to look. I could refresh your camera, I think, Scotty. Let me see. Let me see if I could refresh your camera. Is that doable? Refresh? It like refreshes the camera on your computer, maybe? I don't know.
You just want me to leave and come back?
See, I think you're... It's only when you move like really fast. I don't know. I don't know if it's...
To be clear, I don't move really fast ever.
That's true. That's true.
Not anymore, at least. Not anymore.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. We have a couple videos that popped up on the internet. Once in a while, we'll bust out the Action Lab burner phone, and we'll try to see what's going on in the world. So let's go ahead. Let's shift over to the Action Lab burner phone. And I got...
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Hold on. Why do we have two of you here? Oh. Get rid of one. All right. So we're going to get the burner phone out, and we're going to look at some things that have been taking place over the course of this past week that, just either are funny or interesting or confusing or things along those lines. Meanwhile, you could get serenaded by the chat bot, this chat sports score spot, because it is going absolutely ham in the chat. For some, there are times where I look and I'm just like, damn, it's like shit happening all over the place. Chat is full right now, but we're gonna get into a couple here once Scotty gets back. Let's see real quick, guys. Hit that follow button if you're new to the channel. You haven't been here before. Good to have you guys as a part of the show. We are also getting ready for Sunday night. Who's Sunday Night Football this week, Rec?
Eagles Rams.
So Eagles Rams. If you guys are fans, if anyone out there that is watching that isn't already part of our show is part of the fan base of those, and you want to be part of the stream on Sunday, let Rec know. Go to our Discord, ! Discord, if you don't know or haven't been there before, and just DM Rec, and he can get you all the instructions you need to join us. We have a couple Philly fans. So we could try to get some Philly fans, maybe, if you're interested in joining the show. So there you go. Sunday Night Football.
Do you want me to close it and reopen it?
Yeah, close it and reopen it.
All right.
Or just stay closed.
Shut your mouth. Maybe Rec in the background.
Well, now you're
is what's
back.
affecting it. He started out the stream with his face on there, ruined everything.
All right, so Scott's gonna come back.
Unfortunately.
See if we can get him all fixed on the camera. And then we'll dive into our video clips, and we'll dive in. So just stay tuned, everybody. You know, just hang with me. Just relax. RELAX.
RELAX. Relax.
That's right. So I'm really excited about these, by the way. Really excited about these. One of them is really good. All right. Let me go ahead. Let me copy this in. All right. That's way better. That's way better. Way better. We're back. Okay.
I'm too handsome to be at a slow hit rate or whatever, Chris.
Yeah. 100%. We're
Leave that for a second.
all right. So let's dive in. A couple things here. Well, let's open up the phone here and let's dive into a couple of these different things that we have for you guys this week. All right. Number 1. We have a little action here in the Major League Baseball. Mr. Paul Skeens.
Life of the party.
Winning Rookie of the Year.
Does he know that?
He doesn't. It's crazy to me how underwhelming he looks when he wins Rookie of the Year. Now, Scotty, this is weird, right?
He plays for the Pirates. Of course, he's miserable.
I'm gonna go a different take on this. I think this is a good sign.
Is it though? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's that he doesn't care about winning Rookie of the Year, because I think he does. I just don't know if he loves all the attention on himself. Now, maybe that's not true, because when you date Livy, or maybe Livy takes all the attention off him. But also he's in a camera more often than not, but maybe no one's paying attention to him and they're just paying attention to Livy. He was I mean, and then they asked him like, how do you feel? And he's like, feels good. Like in a very monotone. I don't think he's not grateful for winning it. I think he's probably excited. He probably doesn't like a bunch of people cheering for him in the background and having attention on him. Maybe he just likes to sit in the background and do his thing.
Yeah,
maybe Pittsburgh's the perfect spot for that, right?
Well, yeah, so there's that. And I think there's like, I don't know. I feel like you should, I don't know, maybe be a little excited. I mean, you got, a beautiful girlfriend, you have Rookie of the Year, you have all these things. You have your family there. It just, is he socially awkward? Am I just missing something? Is he like not super... Like,
maybe he was nervous and he did some drugs before and it knocked him off a little bit.
Maybe he was
his game.
Was he super high or something, super stoned?
Maybe.
He kind of looks it. But either way, yeah, kind of an interesting reaction. I think I'm with you. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's a strange thing because there's a lot of good happening there.
It was weird for sure, but in the long run, this dude's gonna be winning multiple Cy Youngs.
Yes, he's very good, but
I think it's fine.
It doesn't stop there, Scotty, because there is also something else happening. And you know me, I'm into the sports cards world, right, Scotty? I follow. Get into sports cards and collectibles and everything else. Is
there a him and Livy card?
There is a deal out there that his 1/1 is being there's bounties on it. And the 1/1 for his card, the Pittsburgh Pirates want it. And what they'll give you is, if you pull this card, 2 Pirates season tickets behind home plate for the next 30 years. You get a softball game for 30 at the PNC Park. You get coaching from the Pirates alumni. You get a tour of the Pirate City and the park. You meet and greet with Paul Skeens.
Wait. And what is Lacombe Park?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
You get 2 Paul Skeens autographed jerseys. You get a batting practice and warm up with the team, and then other unique experiences at Pirate City. And that's their spring training, I think. Spring training. So I guess that's the experience there. So I guess there's a couple different things going on with that, but this 1/1 MLB debut is the card that you could pull from packs and exchange it for this. Now, Scotty, the 2 Pirates season tickets behind home plate for 30 years by themselves is over. I think someone estimated over like $1.1 million or something. Which
I'd have to do some math there, but that sounds high.
Someone said that
Especially
was
for pirates.
especially for pirates.
Bruh.
Let me get a calculator.
Get a calculator. I don't know what pirates tickets behind home plate go for.
We can't see your calculator because you're stuck again.
I don't know.
Well, that's Chris's fault.
I don't know
Damn it,
what.
Chris.
I'm blaming Video Ninja. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, there's no way in hell that's 1.1 million. No, like unless it's unless it's like seats that include like an open bar and like a restaurant and all you can eat food. 1.1 million. You'd have to. I mean, those tickets would have to be $500 a piece, or $500 per game. No, so $250 a piece. And there's no chance those are $250 a piece for. No.
So,
Someone did math bad.
yeah, I don't know. Either way, maybe.
However, Chris, let me just say real quick. All these things, I'd say F off. No, thank you. However, the pot was sweetened. I don't know if you saw that. This is the only thing I actually saw. It was sweetened by good old Livy, who said you can also come and enjoy a game in my suite, because Livy has a suite apparently, season suite, which isn't that abnormal for, maybe for a rookie like that and for her. But anyway, in her suite and hang out with Livy Dunn for a game. I'd be like, make it 10 and I'm in.
give me 3 minutes hanging out with Livy and it's a done deal.
You wouldn't last 3 minutes, Chris.
hey,
Bruh.
hey. I see. Okay. All right. Oh man.
So am I popping back on base cam after
She would,
that?
Diacola, really sorry about that. Really sorry.
she
No, you're not.
be the best 3 minutes of her life. What? Oh my
It's not.
goodness.
It doesn't help your case at all.
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
we're off the rails.
Next.
Wait, real quick. You got to sit on this card. By the way, from a card standpoint,
Whoa, what are you sitting on?
sit on this card because
Oh, on the card. I was confused. Never mind. Okay.
You sit on this
On the
card because this one of one MLB debut for him, you could probably get close to this is in the high six figures, if not approaching $1 million, based off of golden auctions. All they're gonna like absolutely throw everything at it. So you cash in with this bad boy. And then plus
you hold it. You sit on it, Chris. You don't
sit
cash
on it. Well, yeah. Well, you let
don't
everyone
take this
bid it up.
deal. Why did who's wanting it? Is it the Pirates themselves?
The Pirates want it because they want to put it in like their museum, or they want it for whether Paul Skeens wants it. I don't know. Either way, they're trying to.
I don't know why they want it so bad. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
So you need to fix the channel points thing.
You need to fix your face, and you tried.
You tried.
I could say the
tried
same
real
thing to
good.
you.
No, my face is electric. I don't know what that means.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like it got struck by lightning.
Yeah, this card is this is a lottery ticket basically. So just I would
I get it.
You have to buy expensive packs of cards.
Of baseball cards? I don't want baseball.
Yeah, I'm not a
I'd
baseball
rather
card collectible,
Football or basketball would be where I would collect.
Yeah. Not baseball is not my jam.
I'm getting my son into it, and then you gave him some cards.
Yeah, I have some more for him actually. I have some more. So if you want some more, but there you go. That's story number 1 for tonight. Real quick, let's get to a couple quick ones. We've been on a spicy kind of like theme tonight already. We got Livy in the as you know, a hot topic item, literally and figuratively. But that I think that carried over to some of the announcers this week, Scotty, because there's some interesting announcers this past week. One of which actually came from your Chiefs. I think you might have seen this, the Chiefs game, where
I did.
here we go.
In all likelihood, the pass on target, and what a catch. Shakir holding on as Cook absolutely blasted his backside.
Cook absolutely blasted his backside.
Blasted his
I mean,
backside.
I guess I was watching the game. I didn't recognize that. I didn't see the
Blasted
clip
his
back.
backside.
A little too much for the little guy. A little too much for little Shakir.
Yeah, I mean, his backside was sore for a while after this.
Blasted his backside.
Feel the same.
Have you ever seen the meme of like the people watching the games as the commentators keep saying questionable comment
Yeah.
after questionable comment?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Troy Aikman's favorite. He starts to come and then he pulls out.
Yeah. It's like I think the meme is your wives watching and like not paying attention to the game and hearing these calls and all of a sudden getting like really interested in what's going on. So anyways, yeah, in case you're interested in getting
Absolutely blasted his backside.
there you go. Blasting his backside. But
Don't
Em-
come over the middle if you don't want to get blasted.
now we have the next this happened this week as
Sus.
well. Let's talk about this one. This one's interesting too.
First free throw? First free throw of the year. It's also his first career free throw attempt against the Raptors, playing in his 9th game against this team.
I wonder if he's nervous.
All he had to do was get hit by Dick on his way to the basket.
First free throw?
Yeah. Basic.
Like he paused. He paused. Like
He knew.
thought about it, he's like, I'm
He
gonna say
knew
it
what he was
anyways.
saying. Yeah.
He paused.
That felt like something.
Get hit by Dick on
To be honest. I would pause and make a note of it and make sure people recognize what I'm saying. The amount of gritty dick jokes.
The Grady Dick jokes are
I mean, it just never ending. Never ending. Started at Kansas and then developed into the NBA. Well, who did he change jerseys with last year? Where it was
black black dick. Black dick. It was
Yeah. And then they took a picture, and they had like talked about that. They're like, we should do this.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't
100%.
like I respect you, buddy. Like, can we swap jerseys after the game?
It
No,
was
It wasn't that. It was. What if we have a funny photo?
it was I mean it was one of the I think they made a speaking of sports cards, a sports card moment with that. People were actually making their own custom cards, black dick, with the jerseys, which is amazing. But yeah, I mean, this free throw though, he earned it.
I mean,
Get hit by Dick.
if he
on his-
ever gets traded to the Raptors, you know how you got those jerseys that are often like half and half of like one player
Yeah.
in like one sport and another player in another sport, or like it used to be in Denver back in the day. It was like in the 90s it was Walker, right? So we had Larry Walker and Patrick Waugh, so it was like Walker.
Yeah.
I would just do one of what if I can I do that actually? Just do one that's black dick. And
Yeah.
have half and half of the jersey.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the if you lose the thing, you can just use that as your losing for the competition that we have in our super contest.
I'll wear it courtside during the NBA game.
Courtside black dick.
was
And I will
get hit by Dick.
I'll wear
on
it
his way-
backwards so it's just on screen the whole time.
Yeah. So there you go. Some spicy moments in the NFL, the NBA. All he has to do is get hit with a dick, black specifically.
Did you hear about Drake May in the in his presser?
No.
Usually
Because,
I
again,
say
he's
no,
talk-
and then I'm like, oh yeah, I did once you say it. So go ahead.
He was talking about like he was asked about how he reads the defense. Again, he paused as well. It's like it kind of comes with feeling the guy out, you know.
Yeah. There's some interesting. Are we getting into a lot of love in the air out there? Rec, this is your perfect time to be on the dating app. 100%. Look at all this love in the air.
Hey, we need to get a new photo. Now, you look like a different person now.
That's what I said. I was like, I think we have some screenshots over in our Discord. If you guys help me out and took a screenshot.
Also, look at what Nick put. Like, you get Anthony Black, Grady Dick, and LaMelo Ball.
It's a lot on a jersey right there.
Yeah. You could just have everything on one jersey. That would be an incredible. That would be an incredible jersey. I mean, that would be a bestseller. Top seller.
I would probably put a little and sign. What is that called? An ampersand or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
In between Dick and Ball. But yeah, that would be perfect.
Broncos hit by what? You want to hear it one more time? Here, I'll make sure you don't miss it this time. Because sometimes you just got to get
hit by Dick on his way to.
Yeah, there you go. Get hit by Dick. Maybe I'll make those sound drop. Let's make some sound drops. I haven't made new sound drops in like 4 days.
That sounds like assault, though, Chris. Or like,
is
he pressing charges? What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but he probably should file some sort of charges. I don't know. The Canadian, I don't know how that works with Canada and this and that. Canadians don't press charges against anybody. All right.
I would actually argue maybe the alternative. They aren't allowed to do anything anymore. They're the worst. The UK is trying to rival them, but what just awful leadership.
He did have to pay for it, Broncos. It's
Spicy.
Yeah. For the fans in India, after the Warriors versus a Warriors game, they could have curry dick. Curry? I mean, that's legit spicy for sure.
Yeah.
Legit spicy. All right.
I don't. Well, yeah, I don't know if that goes together. Does it?
We'll find out. You'll find out.
I'm not a big curry guy. I like Steph Curry, but curry itself doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, curry for me. I don't eat enough of it to know what's good and what's not. Honestly, like Indian food, I've only eaten like a little Indian food, and I've only been to like 2 places, and I don't know if they're like great places or.
I've been told there's a phenomenal place by me, and I've never gone. I can't. I don't know if I can pull the trigger on it.
I mean, if you get, at least the places I've been, they're pretty good. They have this, like, they call it naan. It's like basically a tortilla or like a pita bread with like garlic and butter, and it's good.
Naan. I'm not an idiot.
It's this thing.
Like,
and then,
what is this thing? This bread you speak of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of tortillas
Chris,
before?
I think my issue is the lack of cheese. Every meal that doesn't involve. That's why I'm not even that into like Chinese or Thai food. Like, I like Chinese and Thai food fine, but it's missing cheese. I need cheese in my meal every time.
Oh, cheese! Cheese might be one of the greatest things.
So why'd you pick the Cowboys and not the Packers again?
Well, now you're banned.
Yeah. I mean, cheese is one of the greatest things ever created.
I just need that's why I was thinking about it today. I was like, my son had to ask me what my favorite food at Thanksgiving is, and I'm like, I think Thanksgiving is overrated. And guess what, Chris? Guess what there is? Unless you have mac and cheese, which usually I don't. There's no cheese on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, unless you get kind of
mac and cheese is it.
Mac and cheese. I mean, you can throw cheese on like a baked potato, but you don't have baked potatoes. You
don't have you have mashed.
It's mashed potatoes, and you could.
You guys are a mistake.
You could put cheese.
Did you say potatoes are a mistake?
Mashed potatoes are a mistake.
I literally said, well, actually, my favorite thing of Thanksgiving is actually stuffing, but my wife had already put that, so I was like, I don't want to repeat. So I was like, dinner rolls. And then she got mad that I said that. She's like, that's super lame. I'm like, fine, mashed potatoes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ironically, my son put his favorite part of Thanksgiving is turkey. But guess what he won't eat?
Turkey.
He will eat turkey. It's a trap from the turkey. He will not eat turkey. Like I can't make him a turkey sandwich. He won't eat it. He won't eat it.
So
that
his
makes no sense.
So his favorite thing is turkey, but he won't eat turkey.
He eats it only on Thanksgiving. And then like when you get the deli meat turkey, he won't eat it. He won't eat any deli meat. I can't make him a turkey sandwich. I can't make him a ham sandwich. Oh my gosh. Don't have 3 children because it's impossible to please them all.
Oh yeah.
With their appetites. They're so different.
Oh, my 2 are they eat the it's like, what do you want? Cream cheese or butter on your bagel? And if one says one thing, I know exactly the answer. I don't even have to ask the other one. It's always the opposite. Hey, you want ketchup or ranch for your chicken? Ketchup? All right, I got ranch for the other one. It's always the complete opposite. It's crazy. No one tells you this when you become a parent, by the way. No one tells you dinner time, breakfast time is just a struggle every single time.
It should be the only food I can think of that they all like consistently is like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders, like something like that. They will eat that and all like it a lot. Beyond that, even macaroni and cheese. Only 2 of the 3. Only 2 of the 3 with macaroni and cheese. You're a kid. It's your job to eat macaroni and cheese. What are we doing?
It's your job. Yeah. They just don't know. They just don't know. You know what else we need to know? We need to know a little bit about the college football playoff, Scotty. Because that is coming down the pipeline real quick. And we are going to get into some thoughts on where things are at now and where things could potentially be here as we get down to the nitty-gritty of this football season and who will be most likely representing some of these teams in the college football playoff, which, again, expanded. We're excited for it. We're trying to figure it all out. Scotty, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts right now, and where are your thoughts as we move forward?
Can I just say, anyone who is like, I'm upset with them expanding to a 12-team playoff, I'm so excited about it. This is great.
This is fantastic.
And everyone's like, well, it'll lose the luster of the regular season and the intrigue. It hasn't really done that. And 2, there's still going to be furious people. It's just like college basketball when like you have 68 people make it and there are teams that are still, they're robbed. This is 12. So of course there's going to be controversy still. And you can argue sides. Like this college football playoff is likely coming down to a Big Ten versus SEC juggernaut, Chris. It's likely only going to have one ACC. Whoever wins the ACC, whoever wins the Big 12. You have your at-large, which right now looks like Boise State, and then you have Notre Dame in there as well. So you have 4 teams that aren't going to be SEC or Big Ten, likely in this scenario. Now, it's fascinating, though. Like, you have Oregon at 1. That makes a ton of sense. You have Texas at 3, Chris. Mm-hmm. Texas, I know they're in the SEC, but they have not had a difficult schedule this year at all. And the one difficult game they had, they got manhandled by Georgia. Now, they've blown out every other game. I'm not saying they're not deserving, but if they go and they lose, their last game of this year is to Texas A&M, who's 15 on this ranking.
Yep.
If they lose to Texas A&M, I don't think Texas should make it. I think they shouldn't make the top 12. They have 2 losses against the only 2 good teams they played and haven't beat anybody. Penn State at 4. Actually, let's move past Penn State. Indiana at 5 is the other fascinating.
Who have a big game this weekend. Indiana, Ohio State this weekend.
Yeah. So Indiana somehow has had the softest schedule in the Big Ten you could ever have. Right now, nationally, Chris, I think there's in Division I, there's 130 some teams, 140 teams, something like that. They're ranked 106th in strength of schedule. They've played no one. Now, they've beaten all the teams they played. And I'm not saying they're not for real, But it's going to be fascinating to see if they lose to Ohio State by, say, I don't know, 17 points. Then they likely don't make the Big Ten Conference Championship game. They end with one loss. Are they in? Should they be in? Chris, they're like 12.5-point dogs to Ohio State.
I was gonna say it's a big spread. It's actually up to 13.5 as we sit today.
Okay, 13.5. That's massive. Now, we'll see how they play that out. And I kind of like Indiana to cover quite a bit, and I now might bet it. However, I don't know if Indiana is one of the top 12 teams. And then you have the SEC, which is just a dumpster fire of beyond Texas, who has one loss, who with a second loss, though, could be eliminated. Just a ton of two-loss teams that have lost to each other. So how do you delineate between Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas A&M? All these teams have two losses. All of them have beat each other and lost to each other in different scenarios. Georgia at 10 to me is stupid. Like, they should be higher because they've played literally the toughest schedule in the country this year. They've played, I think, 5 top 15 teams in the country this year. And some of those, a lot of those on the road. So,
at Texas, at Ole Miss,
the SEC, the team that I think is going to have a gripe and they might be left out in the long run is Tennessee. And I think they're probably a top 12 team if they don't make it. Locally, Chris, maybe I'm more excited about this than I've ever been because Colorado. Why it matters, Chris? You're why it matters.
Why it matters, baby.
The cliff with, and now we're back.
No, I've always been on there. I've always
never left.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt.
Never a doubt. I mean,
CU has a very good, a good opportunity if they beat Kansas. Actually, Kansas is their toughest game potentially. Wow. They're only 2.5-point favorites at Kansas this week. And keep in mind, Kansas has a bad record. Kansas has been in a lead in all but one of their games in the fourth quarter of this season. And the last 2 weeks beat Iowa State and BYU, who are both on this list, by the way. So Kansas is playing good football. It's in Arrowhead. It's not going to be an easy game. I do think CU comes out and wins that game. Actually, I want them to be clear. Like, listen, I like KU and CU, but like, CU has an opportunity here. KU, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
3.5-point game.
Oklahoma State, who hasn't won a conference game the last week of the season, and then they'll play whoever else is in the conference title game, whether it's BYU or Arizona State, who both play each other this weekend, which will be a super interesting game in the Big 12 as well. But then there's the possibility, Chris. So like I said, I think on the stream, and I didn't realize before, every conference champion gets a bye. Right?
Correct. Except
no. Well, kind of. I thought it was the major 4 conferences. So I thought the Big 10, SEC, ACC, and Big 12 conference champion would get a bye. It's not absolutely true. The at-large bid from the mid-major, who in this case would be Boise State, if they win out and then they end up with a higher ranking in the college football playoff than one of the other teams, let's say CU, who's 16 right now and Boise State's 12, they would get a bye, and CU would then get ranked respectively in that college football playoff. So I don't think there's any chance that Boise State actually ends up with a bye. I think if CU wins out, they'll have the number 4 seed and a bye. But it's fascinating because the ACC, you look at right now, you have Miami and SMU and Clemson pretty far on the way out. So, like, they're at 17, but, like, I don't know if they can for the raid.
Joe, welcome in, Joe. And hey, Joe. Yeah, guys, go follow Joe. He does his sports show. As always, we like to support all of our Action Lab community, especially if they're streamers. So go follow Joe. Click on the link and hit that follow button for him so you know when he goes live. Welcome in, everybody.
But anyway, I think the ACC and Big 12 are very likely to be one team bids in this top 12. Whoever wins the Big 12, whoever wins the ACC. Because right now, Miami and SMU are looking like they'll face each other in the ACC final. Whoever loses, I think, is out. Unless Clemson somehow sneaks in, but I don't think they should, based off of what they've done this year. So it's fascinating. This 12 is so much better than the 4. It's so much better than the 4. And maybe it eventually go to 16. Local radio here, Chris, that I love, was like they should go to 14 and just make it where nobody gets a bye. And I'm like, your math is wrong. It needs to get to 16. It's got to get to 16. And no one corrected him. And then, Chris, later in the day on the same network, radio network today, someone who's in charge here, because they're talking about the NFL playoffs. And they're like, well, all right, if we go off of what's right now, the Chiefs would have the 1 seed in the AFC. They'll get the bye. The Bills would have the 2. They'll play the 8 seed. And I'm like, the what seed? The what seed? And there are 2 other guys on the
and they didn't say anything.
And they didn't correct it at all. In fact, they just went with it. And one played in the NFL.
Are you listening to that 104.3 still?
No.
Oh, this was the
altitude.
This
is DMAC saying it. This is DMAC, Hastings, and
Dover. No, DMAC, Hastings, and
the lineman.
Columbus.
Columbus. I almost said Columbus. Yeah, and they're literally like, the 2 will then play the 8, because they were trying to find a scenario where the Broncos would play the Steelers and Russ in the playoffs. But I was just like, you guys are destined. If you make it, and you very well could, you're going to be the 7 seed. You're going to play the 2. There is no 8 seed. And no one of the 3 of them even pointed out how dumb this conversation was. And I was just like, wow, what are we doing? I like altitudes. Radio, but like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Between that and this morning, I was just like, I don't think we actually pay attention at all.
That's wild to me. Oh man, there's issues there. There's issues with that, because there's no way. I feel we gotta get our local radio situated, man. We gotta get our local radio situated. They're normally good.
I love the morning show on altitude. I think it's the best radio show in Denver. With Kane, Lombardi, and Mosier. Love them. And I like the afternoon show that we just talked about, but like, man, you got to get like your facts straight a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you not know that there's only 7 teams that make the playoffs? Or how do you not know that, like, in order to make no buys in the college football playoff, you have to go from 12 to 16, not to 14. You can't have 7 on 7.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's bad.
Why don't they just hire us?
They could. They could.
You're kind of like a Kane, and I think I'm kind of like a Lombardi a little bit.
Yeah,
we actually probably know a little more than them.
We should get on there, because I even the afternoon show. I feel like there's a lot of shows we could definitely replace the late afternoon show with Nate Kreckman and Lindahl.
Like Kreckman and Lindahl.
They are.
I don't listen to it.
They are not.
And it's not that they're not knowledgeable. They just don't.
They go off on tangents, and I can't. I can't
Who would
stick
ever
with
do that?
We don't ever go out on tangents.
No.
Well, I can understand the NFL thing, since Denver hasn't been in the playoffs since the first Bush administration. or so it seems. Well, that's going to change this
There
year.
we go. That's fair. Maybe, Chris.
It's going to change this year, baby.
I mean, it's far from a foregone conclusion. Sorry to say that.
Yeah. So, guys, we are going to be spending a lot more time covering. This is what we have set up for this particular time frame. This is the rankings as of November 19th. So, we'll make sure
Week by
to
week, we'll talk about it. It's
Yes.
fascinating. I love this 12 team.
Yeah.
Because I think it enters a lot more teams in the conversation. It's going to be fun.
And with
obviously, I mean, CU with us being involved is great. I'm also an Oregon fan, and they happen to be that helmet's next to the number 1. Right there. So that's a nice thing. They've already clinched their berth in the Big Ten championship game.
yeah.
And
And
some people are like Georgia, for example, won't likely make the SEC championship game, and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. However, the conference championship games are like bursts to buys, right? So they're still important. And some of those teams, if they lose, may not make it, obviously. So, but Georgia's likely not going to make the SEC championship game, and they have easy opponents here on out. So they're likely to. Georgia fans were freaking out that they're at 10, and last week they were out of it. I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're going to end up at like 7. Which is, I mean, you can't be top 4 if you don't win your conference. So like you're 5, 6, 7, like you'll be fine.
Georgia,
You're in. Just go win.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Go take care of business. So yeah, again, we'll have some movement. Indiana, number 5, Indiana is going to be playing number 2, Ohio State in that. So that's going to affect these rankings a little bit. We also have, again, Colorado and Kansas, a 3.5 point spread on that game. But Arizona State, BYU, 14 and number 21 playing each other in Arizona State. That's a 3.5 point spread. Then you have, let's see if there's any other close games of ranked teams. Alabama's 13.5. Iowa State's 7.5. Texas A&M and Auburn, number 15 Texas A&M, 2.5 point spread at Auburn. So that's another one that could be an interesting game, at least from the betting lines. So yeah, interesting stuff that is taking place. Again, this is the first time we're looking at this. It feels a little March Madness-y a little bit, because it's like you're starting to get, a little bit more in tune with some of these teams that historically have never been part of that 14 playoff and would never be in the conversation that are now. So I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to see what ends up happening. But CU making it would be pretty big. CU making it would be a really big deal. At least Colorado, because Colorado hasn't had anything to get excited about in college football in a long time. It's been a barren wasteland for college football here, outside of a random bowl game for either the Rams or the Falcons or something. The Air Force is competitive, and they can once in a while get themselves into a bowl game. But Colorado in this college football playoff, they have Shedeur Sanders. They have one of the best players in college football. What's his name? Why am I blanking on Travis? Why am I blanking? Anyways, help me out, chat. All right. That being said, Travis Hunter. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now we're going to get into the NFL, but again, we're going to keep touching on all of the college football playoff moving forward from here on out every single Wednesday. And we'll just have some fun with it. So there you go. All right, let's get into our NFL. We're going to be breaking down some games for you guys. Can't wait for this. As we wait for Sky to get back, guys, hit that follow button if you're new to the channel. If you haven't been here, this is a great place to be if you love sports. Go ahead, make sure you know we are live every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday with those notifications once you hit that follow button so that you don't miss a single show or know when we're late sometimes. Or maybe we're, a little early and all of a sudden you're caught off guard. But if you have those notifications, you won't have that issue. Also, tomorrow night, we are talking NBA. I know there's Thursday night football. I know there's a lot going on with the NFL on Thursday nights, but we're starting to get into the NBA season when it comes to the NBA Cup. We're getting into some of the fun matchups. We're almost to those Christmas games that I always love. We got some power rankings for you. So if you love NBA and you love talking hoops, tomorrow, Power Hour is the show for you. So hit that follow button for that. Otherwise, we're going to be live Sunday for the Eagles and the Rams. Will be another really, really good game. I think it's going to be a good game. We have some best bets in that game from Scotty and myself. So that'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys are tuning into that. That'll be watching the game live. We'll be playing some bingo, and we'll be always having fun with you guys and breaking down all the earlier matchups that took place early in the day. SDG, I bet Chris is looking forward to it's the best. Why wouldn't I be looking forward to Thanksgiving leftovers? It's and you know what's great? I could look forward to Thanksgiving leftovers for like 4 straight days. It's 4 days of heaven, SDG.
4 days of bad food.
Don't come at me. Because all I know is I'll just be eating all those leftovers, and
all the leftovers that nobody wants.
I'm gonna be absolutely happy with my life. By the way, I make leftover. I get creative with my Thanksgiving leftovers. I'll throw them into like one of my favorite things to do. I'll take a little bit of everything and make Thanksgiving quesadillas. So you get a tortilla, you put all the stuff inside the tortilla with cheese, cheddar cheese, and like some turkey and some stuffing and some mashed potatoes, and you melt the cheese in there with all the Thanksgiving. Don't hate it.
Quesadillas with mashed potatoes. Why do you hate them?
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And then you make you could do all of the leftovers in a quesadilla is great. Now, see? I'm telling you. It's all about how creative you get. And then you could do like breakfast is kind of tricky with leftovers. I don't really recommend. But Chris, you know what's also incredible? My I mean, to each your own, Canada. To each your own. I mean, if everyone loves their own brand, there are moments where your brand ain't it. I'll tell you that. There's moments. Just saying. Sounds like Scotty is taking care of some business in the back. I think I hear some crying. I think I hear some screams. So he might be.
It might take him a while.
It might take him a little bit here. So we might just kind of hang tight for another minute or two, and then we might jump into Cardinal Seahawks here in a sec. Yeah. Maybe it was a little aggressive, STG. Maybe it was a little bit of a reach pick. Maybe it was a little bit of a reach. But I will say it's a very yeah, it should have been my 5th pick. It should have been my 5th pick. It wasn't going anywhere. I think Scotty's neighbors are calling for sewage leak. Yeah, maybe. He's battling. He's battling. For all you guys who don't have kids, there's it's not always the easiest with bedtimes. So shitter is full. Yeah. Shitter is full. That's such a great. We're getting into holiday season. You know what else? Real quick before we get in the NFL. Don't know about how you guys are in your towns with your radio stations. We have a radio station out here in Denver that does Christmas music. They've already had Christmas music on one of the radio stations out here for a week and a half, and it's completely unacceptable. Don't just breeze over Thanksgiving like it's nothing. Okay, it's just one of my things. I can't get into Christmas this early. Everyone else setting up their trees early, setting up their trees like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't do it. I can't set up my stuff that early. It's against my DNA to do anything along those lines. I don't set up anything Christmas. I don't listen to anything Christmas until after Thanksgiving. Except Broncos. Broncos loves he loves his Christmas on Cozy, right? Broncos? You'll listen to Christmas music right now? Does it include All I Want for Christmas Is You? But yeah. Everything. Nothing is Christmas related. My kids are like, "Oh, can we watch some of the Christmas cartoons?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. They're banned from our house."
Well, now you're banned.
Banned. So no. Tree is already up. You're one of those, Broncos. You're one of those. I can't do it. Can't do it. All right. Would you ever put up a Christmas tree before Thanksgiving? Probably not. No. Nope.
Broncos, sorry.
I probably won't ever. That's just Is it weird to, I mean, how many people do you go to for like Thanksgiving recently that already have their Christmas tree up? Like that you're having Thanksgiving dinner next to your Christmas tree and it's already up, and like people in our neighborhood already have their lights up. I could see that, especially here, like if your weather's not so great as you get later on, but we have great weather in Colorado. I could always put my lights up later, you know? No, I'm boycotting it until after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, it's whatever, you know? Then yeah, let's make it happen. Grinch.
Bruh.
Yeah, bah humbug. I'll be Grinch on that topic. I'll be Grinch. Plus, there's setting it up. We have a lot of shit, and there's a lot that goes into setup here at the house. I'm like,
Hoarder.
ooh, getting in the crawl space, pulling everything out, putting up the lights on the outside. It's a chore, man. Once it's up, it's great. And I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong, but
You love those Christmas leftovers?
Christmas leftovers. I mean, it's not as good as Thanksgiving leftovers, so I don't know. But there you have it. I will say Christmas is one of the best days. We have football, we have basketball. It's one of my favorite sports days of the year. All right. So let's go ahead. I think we just dive in. Let's do it. I'm off my soapbox rant of Christmas. I don't even know how we got on that subject, but here we are. So Arizona at Seattle. This game is an interesting one, just based off of the fact that we have a division that's just absolutely gridlocked. Standings in this division are kind of wild when you look at it. It's anyone's division. You have the Arizona Cardinals at 6-4. You have the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers at 5-5. So all of these teams are just neck and neck, and anybody could come away with this division. Right now, the Cardinals, I think we were talking about it. I think they're plus 190 at this point to make the play, or to win the division, or to make the playoffs. I can't remember which one it was, but they're in a good spot. But then you're getting good value on the Seahawks and the 49ers, I think, are kind of in that mix too. And then the Rams are like 3-1 to make the playoffs, and I love that. They're turning things around. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into Seattle. Seattle hosting the Cardinals. The current spread as we sit right now is Arizona is actually 1.5 point favorite on the road here in this game. Over under total set at 47.5.
Oh, so the number just swapped really quick because on the screen Seattle -1. So that was a quick swing.
Either that or Scotty, he doesn't pay attention to the bottom line as often as he maybe, because he also has R at -108. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's okay. Scotty, he's got a lot going on. But the Arizona Cardinals, this might be a little deceiving. It flipped. Arizona -1.5 as a favorite on the road in Seattle. The 49ers are being where they are is shocking a lot of people. They were predicted. Yeah. At 49ers, there's something wrong there. I don't know what it. There's even with Christian McCaffrey coming back, there's still some weird things. Anyways, I digress. This game is an interesting one, and honestly, there's a couple leans I have. I don't have this as a game that I'm really betting on, so to speak, but Geno Smith, 4th in the NFL in passing yards, so he's getting some things going here. This feels just like a game that I don't want to touch. I don't know what will end up happening in this game. This is close to a pick'em for me, and it's close to a pick'em in Vegas, given it's 1.5. The under seems interesting. I think that both of these teams could be an interesting under play, because the Cards 5-1 to the under in their last 6 meetings, averaging just 39 points. They're 8-4 to the under in the last 12, averaging 45 points. Cardinals are 7-5 under on the road since the start of last season, averaging 44 points. Seattle home games are average 45 points this season. Kyler's 23-12-1 to the under on the road. So there's a lot of trends that I like that maybe lean towards the under in this game. But I'm just fascinated. Like, all of a sudden, this division went from being one of the more boring divisions that I'm like, whatever happens, happens, to I'm all of a sudden all in on watching what happens in between these teams going down the stretch, because anything could happen. Any team can make the playoffs at this point. So that's why I'm super excited about this division. CMC injury did them in. Well, even now, CMC's back, and they're trying to work him in. I don't know if it's, they missed Ayuk. Ayuk's out. So he's, a big reason why they win a lot of games, especially, giving Purdy that safety blanket. So it's like, I think there's something there. It's historically low scoring between these two. Yeah. And I think that maintains its trend here in this game. So, if anything, I have a lean to the under. I think, there's some projections that I've seen that have this kind of slated at around 48 points. So it's pretty efficient. But if I had to pick it, I'd probably go towards the under in this one. Kyler Murray, I think even, if you wanted to, Arizona money line. Let me double check the money line on this. They're actually -108 for both Seattle and Arizona. It's identical.
Wow.
So that just tells you how close this game could potentially be. So normally, if you would want to bet this game, you would probably take the points in a close matchup. So Seattle +1.5, but I'm not sweating this game out, guys.
Yeah.
Chat, I'm not going to do it. So, Rec, you have any thoughts on this one?
In fact, if you're going to bet a side on this, especially if you're going to bet Arizona, don't bet the spread or money line. Bet for them to make the playoffs instead. Because if they win this game, they have a somewhat soft schedule. Let me check what it is exactly. But if they win this game, they're most likely in the playoffs in some capacity. Yeah, because after this, they have the Vikings, Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, Rams, Niners. So a lot of divisional games, but again, you get Patriots, Panthers back-to-back. Those are both very winnable games. Division games are winnable, as we already seen, but and if you bet the Cardinals, just bet for them to win, to make it to the playoffs. Get the value there. Don't worry about actually betting this game.
All right, we got Scotty back. Thanks, Greg, for popping in for a quick second. There we go. Welcome back, Scotty.
Thanks.
Thoughts on Cardinals Seahawks? I was mentioning there's a lot of trends to the under in this one, but the number seems efficient. This seems like a very efficient number in Vegas and where it should be. 1.5 is Arizona minus 1.5 as we sit today. So
Arizona's flipped to -1.5 because when I did this line, it was earlier today.
interesting. So it did flip. I didn't know if that was a typo or it flipped that quickly. So yeah, Arizona currently, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, is a -1.5 favorite in this game.
I mean, some of the Arizona is coming off their bye, I believe, right? They had a bye last week. A little extra rest. Kyler playing some video games for a week, getting his
It's Call of Duty in.
Fixing, and then coming back and focus. And Seattle, obviously, coming off a huge win against San Fran last week. I mean, that whole division's still up in the air. Arizona a game ahead of Seattle and San Fran. It's going to be interesting. I have no feel on this game. Neither of these teams are consistent enough or like for me to know how they're going to show up or where they're going to show up. I would lean Arizona, I think, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, Seattle's best win is against San Francisco, a 500 team, or beating Bo Nix in his debut. I mean, those are kind of the flagship wins, right, for Seattle. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, I don't know. Cardinals
They
off a
also
bye.
beat San Francisco, but like, who have they beat?
I mean,
I know they beat San Fran as well, but
yeah. Let me see. Hold on. So the wins from the Cardinals.
Rams when they were
Beat up.
in week 2 and awful.
Niners, they beat the Chargers,
49ers,
Dolphins.
Dolphins by a point. That was Tua's first game back.
Correct.
So
Bears and Jets
they
are
beat up
awful.
The Bears and Jets. They've been playing good football recently.
So maybe a lean to the money line. The money line is identical, by the way, 108 for each team, -108. So this is as close as you get, chat. This is as close as you can get. Scotty with the quality check. If any of these two are assumed to win the division, that's the winner for this game. This division's crazy.
The division's up in the air. Obviously,
They do.
The
They do play each
Cardinals
other.
can take a pretty big stranglehold if they can win this. They do. They play each other 2 of the next 3 weeks. These two teams, so they are right back at it 2 weeks from now as well. So,
yep.
But the Cardinals have. They still. I mean, well, I don't know. They got a lot of NFC West games, so a lot of at Vikings, versus Patriots, at Panthers, along with at Rams and versus 49ers. But have you talked about other games? Have you already talked about the 49ers game specifically?
No, we haven't gotten into that, but we'll get into those.
This is the first.
Yeah. So, all right. So there we go. By the way, even more reasons why this is just like a coin flip type of game. Cardinals are 6-6 against the spread versus Seattle in their last 12. So being at home hasn't really changed much there. It hasn't been a huge factor, it seems, in this matchup. So, yeah, this is Kyler. Kyler, by the way, 30-16-2 against the spread as a dog, which is kind of a weird number. Anyways, so just maybe.
But now you said he's not a dog.
Now he's not. So now
It's flipped.
So now Seattle plus 1.5. Lock. No, don't. I'm not touching anything in this game. All right, let's get to the next game here. And that's Ravens and Chargers, which, is another interesting matchup that I think could be a pretty good game. This game might have some scoring all over it when it comes to like a race. The over seems to be something that's interesting in this one. This I think was at 49.5. I think it went to 50. Hey, Steve got that smoke. Welcome in.
Trying to read that, I couldn't see it.
Welcome in,
Steve got
Steve.
that smoke.
Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you. Thanks for joining us here in the Action Lab.
There's smoke, there's fire, Chris.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. So Ravens, it started at 49.5. That's up to 50.5 in the over/under. But currently, the spread is adjusted since you made this graphic as well. Baltimore went from -2.5 to a 3-point favorite in this on the road in Los Angeles. And they are -152 on the money line, plus 128 for the Los Angeles Chargers to win this game outright. Scotty, your thoughts on this game? This could be an interesting one.
I mean, this one's fascinating. Kind of a big game for both teams, but probably more important for Baltimore. Now it's 7-4, reeling a bit after that loss to Pittsburgh this past weekend. I mean, everyone talks about them as being an elite team, but if they lose this one and get to 7-5, all of a sudden, listen, I still think they make the playoffs, but like, what seed are you getting at that point? Like, you can't lose the tiebreaker to the Chargers. You do have another one against the Steelers, but still, like, to stay in contention for that AFC North title, this is a must-win for the Ravens, probably, even with the Pittsburgh difficult schedule down the stretch. The Chargers have continued to play better and better football, especially offensively, Chris. I think what people are sleeping on is, like, start the season, they really went conservative. They were run first, conservative offense under Harbaugh, not asking Herbert to do a ton. You had new wide receivers there with rookies like Ladd, and second year with Quentin Johnston, who's still not much of a factor, of course. I just had to say that for keep close. But they've started to, and you talked about the over here, they've started to unleash that offense in the passing game a little bit. Because we know Herbert's talented. No one's ever questioned whether Herbert's talented or can do some good things with the football. The Chargers always just seem to charger. Well, so far this year, they're not. They almost tried to this past Sunday night against the Bengals. Came back and got that W. Now they face the Ravens. I think people are sleeping on how good this Chargers team has the potential to be. And while I don't think it's much of a home advantage at all in LA for the Chargers, I took them not at 2.5, at 3. I got Chargers +3 as one of my bets of the week. I think this game's going to be tight. Could go either way, more of a coin flip for me. So give me the Chargers +3 against a Ravens team that, like, I don't know. Like, I know everyone thinks they're world beaters and Lamar's the MVP, but they're 7-4, Chris.
One stat that you're going to love, especially on your side, is that Lamar Jackson, as a favorite of more than 3 points, 3 or more, 34% against the spread. So it's not
interesting.
It's not great. Lamar Jackson leads the NFL in passer ratings. Chargers lead the NFL in points per game allowed. So yeah, there's some trends that just, again, lean to the over in this one. By the way, Chargers top 5 passing game, throwing the ball downfield, 20 downfield, a ton, more than 20 yards, and then gone over 2 in a row, 60.1 points on Sunday. So the overs have been hitting for the Chargers. Ravens D isn't very good. We know that. Second half of games, the Ravens just bleed points. So yeah, 5-1 to the over on the road with games average NFL high 56.3 points for the Ravens. The Chargers D is good, but Lamar is great on Monday Night Football typically. So we'll see. This will be an interesting one.
Good thing this isn't on Monday Night Football. Or yes, it is. Is it Sunday or Monday?
We have Sunday night as the Rams and the Eagles.
Oh, this is Monday?
Yep, that's Monday.
Why did I think this was Sunday? That's unfortunate.
And we do have an Eagles fan for Sunday.
Oh, nice. Love it. Love it. By the way, Steve is a Bears fan. Duh, Bears. I mean, hey, you know what? Still love you, Steve. Still glad you're here. If you need to vent, we can be your support system. We'll be your support
Bears.
system.
I mean, it's hard out there.
It's tough.
A couple
It's
tough
tough.
losses in the last few weeks. After 20 years of pain or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's glad you're
SCG,
here.
This is the Herbert that Scotty called for MVP last season. I did not. Under their new offensive coordinator last year before the season, I thought Herbert had a decent chance at leading the league in passing yards because they were just going to sling the ball everywhere. He got hurt, and maybe it wouldn't have mattered. He probably wouldn't have got it anyway, but I never said MVP. Never said MVP.
Well, either way, Monday Night Football. We haven't really had a lot of great Monday Night Football games, I feel.
This will be a good one.
This will be one of the better Monday Night Football games to look forward to. So we'll be keeping tabs on that as we move into the Monday game. So,
my boy, Lad McConkey. Man, Lad's going to be so good.
Lad, you wanted him.
I did. I still would rather have him over Worthy.
Which is
100%.
crazy to think because Worthy's been wild. He's been. I mean, he has upside with his stretch in the
He's
field.
not worthy.
Is he not? Is he not fitting into your?
I'm not saying Worthy down the road can't be really, really good, but
Not Lad good.
I think I'd rather have Lad.
Yeah.
The Chargers got him, and now Scotty is sad McConkey.
Basically. Let's get to the next game here. We have the Denver Broncos, my boys, going.
You're welcome for putting this game in here. I didn't want to.
Because we're looking at another just blowout,
No, because
basically.
we only talk about good games. I didn't even put my Chiefs in this week. So
Well, interestingly enough, this line has been all over the place coming into this game. This was at 4.5, which is where I got it as a best bet. Went to 5.5. It's currently at 6.5. All of a sudden, Broncos minus 6.5 is the current spread on FanDuel Sportsbook. The over/under total set at 41.5, and Broncos minus 275 on the money line. Raiders plus 225. So I ended up taking this one. I always message you on lines early in the week if I feel like I want to get the better of the number, and I did end up getting better of the number, knowing that this went to 6.5 right now. But the Raiders just feel like I don't know. I can't figure out if they've given up or not. Like, part of me is like, I don't know what to think. Are they still kicking? I don't know. But it's been a rough road for the Raiders. Denver defense is suffocating, and I just don't know if the Raiders offense is ready for it. I mean, it's typically, we had a small sample size at the beginning of the season with the Broncos defense. They had a couple that Ravens game that really kind of made people question, but then they got right back on track again. Peyton's team 7-3-1 against the spread, and 4-1-1 against the spread on the road. So that's a lot to like here, especially in a Broncos offense that has started to get clicking recently with Bo Nix. He's gotten into a nice little rhythm here. He's getting more confident. There was a couple throws last week that I felt were like throws that I was waiting to see the whole first part of the season that I haven't seen. So that was nice to see. Antonio Pierce, he's going to get fired soon probably. And everyone in Vegas pretty much knows it. I mean, we said this last year, Scotty, when they hired him, we were like, he's not your guy. He's not your guy. So as long as Nix doesn't turn over the ball, Nix 9 passing touchdowns to 1 interception in his last 4 games. If he doesn't turn over the ball, this seems like it'll be a game that should be pretty comfortable for the Broncos. I don't know how the Raiders don't turn over the ball at least once or twice, and maybe a pick 6. I don't know. I don't trust the quarterback for the Raiders to not have some issues with turning over the football. So -4.5 Broncos. Best bet of the week.
I mean, yeah, you say, I don't know if they've given up on the season. Well, they're losers of 6 straight, and 5 of those have been by a touchdown or more. And the other one was by 5, which was still cover on your 4.5, Chris. So they've lost 6 straight by more than 4.5. And that, so you're taking the Broncos here. Seems pretty safe. Obviously, the history with the Raiders, I know they got a win earlier this year against the Raiders in a game that the Raiders actually probably outplayed the Broncos, frankly. But now the Raiders are just a mess. Like, since that game, blown out by Pittsburgh, somewhat close loss to the Rams, but that was before the Rams got like their wide receivers back. Lost the Chiefs, the Bengals, and Dolphins. They've had a tough schedule. I'll give them that, but they're just a mess of a team. They don't have a quarterback. I mean, Gardner Minshew has not been. I don't think they had super high hopes, but they thought he might be, reliable, and he's been less than that. The defense hasn't played that well. There's not a lot to like with the Raiders. I wouldn't touch this game just because I think the Broncos coming off of a dominating big win last week, which hasn't been customary to necessarily what their season's been overall. I hesitate. I think people are overvaluing maybe the Broncos a little bit right now. Certainly Denver media is. Speaking of idiots on the radio, I mean, they're just talking about how far the Broncos can go in the playoffs. Like, can they just go just a Super Bowl now? But this is a game I would not touch. Although at 4.5 against a bad Raiders team, that should be, considering they've lost by more than that, they're in 6 straight games. That should be manageable for Denver, who's certainly playing better. There's no doubt about that. They won some games maybe were ugly early on, but that offense is starting to click and they had their best performance as a team that they've had in a game in years last week. So.
Yeah. And also, too, they've taken care of the bad teams. Beating the Panthers by 14, beating the Saints by 23, beating the Raiders earlier on in the season, 34-18. So they've beaten, when they've played the bad teams, they've put up points, and they haven't really been particularly close generally. So, maybe we'll see another one here. But
I will argue in that blowout against the Raiders earlier in the year, they got outgained yardage-wise.
Yeah. But
it was 3 turnovers by the Raiders. That was why that was a blowout. But they only got 289 yards on offense that game, the Broncos.
That suffocating defense, man. Taking care of business.
I said the Broncos only got 289 yards of offense.
The defense, man.
The 330. Yeah.
Lions and Colts in this one. Let's go ahead. Let's break it down. This was one of my best bets. It leans on my best bets. I took it off the board. The more I saw, the more I was like, this seems trappy to me.
It's a trap.
It seems trappy. I don't know why. The Detroit Lions have been absolutely monster in covering games all season long. And a 7.5 point spread at Indy in a controlled environment for Jared Goff seems good, right? But the more I look at everything, like, my lean still is the Lions, but like, there's a lot of trends that say Indianapolis are probably the side here. You have this as your best bet, and you know what? I'm not confident enough on the Lions side to make it my best bet. So, Scotty, tell us why you love the Colts in this one. Again, Detroit 7.5 point favorites on the road, over under total set at 50.5 still, but Lions -420. Really, by the way, teaser candidate if you like the Lions just to win the game.
Yeah, Lions and a tease is a pretty solid bet. Listen, I just don't know if the Lions can keep up this pace. get that they've been blowing out teams. Lucky to win 2 weeks ago against the Texans, obviously, on Sunday night that we covered that game. They follow this game with back-to-back NFC North matchups against the Bears and Packers, followed by the Bills. So a lot of big games on the horizon. And then it's Bears, 49ers, Vikings. So it's a gauntlet remaining for the Lions, frankly, with I think these Colts and the Bears being the only teams under 500 left on their schedule. Won't be easy. This is like the last game against the AFC, maybe a little loss of focus. And this one's a huge one for if you're a Colts fan. If you're the Colts team, you went back to, Anthony Richardson last week. He put up pretty good numbers, frankly, in a come from behind last second win against the Jets on the road. I know the Jets haven't been great, but they were, to get that win feels good. Now you got a home game and a game like you're right in the mix for that playoff spot. If you're the Colts, you need to get, back to 500 at 6-6 and see if you can make a move from there. Because like after this game, I think we've looked at it before. Indy's schedule, partially because they play in the AFC South, but like it's Patriots. We talked about they do play the Broncos. That'll be a big one. But then it's like Patriots, Titans, Giants, and Jags are their other games. So they're far from out of this. And then Broncos and Lions. So if they can somehow pull out a win, or I feel like they're going to put a lot of eggs in their basket on this one, trying to pull out a win. And if they can get back to 6-6 with the schedule they have remaining, they'll be favored in likely all but one of their remaining games. So I don't know that the Colts are that good. I don't actually think the Colts are, a team that is all that good, and they're trying to figure stuff out. Obviously, when you ditch a quarterback, go to your backup, and then come back to him again, like things are a little messy there. But I don't know. It's more about the spot for the Lions and the Colts, and how I think the Colts, this is a much bigger game for them, and the Lions have bigger things on the horizon.
Well, yeah, i.e. Thanksgiving game on deck as well that they have to look forward to.
Thursday.
Yeah, so they have the Thanksgiving game coming up. They also lost Alex Anzalone, whatever his one of their
Anzalone.
Middle linebacker, which I think he has a broken forearm or something. So he's added to some of the banged up defense on the Detroit Lions. Indy 6-1 against the spread with Richardson starting. Detroit also is just it just seems like this is the time to fade them. I don't know. Part of me still likes the Lions seem to be doing some crazy things. 50 points in 2 of the last 4 weeks. The over is actually kind of interesting. Considering I think they could put up points in this one. Colts can probably put up some points, but
we talked about this on Sunday night, but did you watch the Lions against the Jaguars? Don't get me wrong, the Lions put it to them.
Yeah.
But it looked, I've never seen a team care less than what Jacksonville seemed to care.
Yeah, and
they didn't remotely try and cover or do anything in that game.
And somehow Peterson is still employed.
Which is another whole thing. So yeah. Colts will put up a fight in this one. And that's why I took it off my board. Kind of still lean Lions, but I'm not betting it. I'm not confident enough in it. So lean Scotty's got the best bet in this one with Colts plus 7.5. My lean is more towards the total in the over. 7 Lion games, 5 of the last 7 going 56 plus. So there you go. All right, Eagles and Rams. This is our Sunday night football game that is going to be, I think, a very fun game to watch. We will be covering this one live in the Action Lab this Sunday. So make sure you tune in. We're going to have bingo. We're going to be watching the game. Not live, but you can watch it with us like in Manning cast style, except we're better. But we both have some interesting exposure on this game, Scotty. Go ahead. Eagles, first of all, the tail of the tape. Philadelphia is a 2.5 point favorite on the road in Los Angeles, which again, not a great home field advantage. Philadelphia fans will probably be very well represented in Los Angeles. The over-under total now to 48.5. It's actually gone down, interestingly enough, which is also a reason why I am fascinated with some of this from that standpoint, from the over-under total. But Scotty, I'll let you go after it. We both have the Eagles side in this one, though.
Yeah, we do. Listen, I know the Rams have been, trending in the right direction, getting back to 5-5. But this Eagles team's winner of, I believe, 6 straight, and some of those in convincing fashion. Like the Saquon pickup in the offseason is looming massive for this team. I think without Saquon on this roster, you're looking at a very, very different Eagles team. I'm not big on paying running backs, never have been, but this was one situation where it's worked out, and it's worked out probably better than Philly even imagined. But Philly's defense has played some great football, especially the defensive line. In this winning streak, they seem to dominate at the defensive line and get pressure on the quarterback. And that's where I think the big mismatch in this game is. You look at an offensive line for the Rams that's inconsistent at best. Stafford getting hit time and time again is what throws him off his game. I think the Eagles will get pressure early and often. That will throw the Rams, offense off a little bit. You have an Eagles team that's hot, will be able to move the ball in a Rams defense that's not, in my mind, great. It's, average at best. But yeah, I just couldn't get over I hate betting on the Eagles. I almost never bet on the Eagles. So I don't know what this means with me betting on the Eagles here, but the defensive line of the Eagles against the offensive line of the Rams is a huge monumental mismatch in this game. And that's why I'm riding the Eagles on the road, -2.5 to at least win by a field goal.
I'm the opposite of y'all. I got Rams +3.
Rams plus. So you got this earlier on.
Well, I like the Rams offense, and I also kind of banking on like Sirianni doing Sirianni things. Jake Elliott had a really bad week last week. We'll see if he rebounds at all. But overall, like the Eagles tend to like make games closer than they should be. Lately it's been kind of split whether they do or not, but I think the Rams are a good enough team to keep it at least within a field goal.
Okay, so here's why I like the Eagles. Eagles 7-0, averaging nearly 30 points, especially when AJ Brown suits up. He's a game changer for them. This opposing quarterbacks, we talked about the defensive line. Opposing quarterbacks have a 78.9 passer rating, 4th worst this season, and are averaging 173.2 passing yards, 2nd fewest, despite negative game scripts. And so, I think that there's some things that this Philly defense is going to do. Last year, they dominated the Rams in their visit to SoFi, holding the ball for like 38 minutes. So I think this one will be a little more competitive potentially. I do still see the Eagles winning this game, at least by 2.5. So I think that that's a big piece of why I just think that they're on a roll with Saquon, with everything. It's hard that they got it cooking right now. So Eagles look good. I also have exposure on the over total. I liked it at actually 49.5. I think that's what I sent you, Scotty. And then I saw today it went down to 48.5, and I was like, I like it even better. This Rams offense will find ways to score. They've been absolutely just last week, especially Matt Stafford, he finds ways to get his team involved, especially the wide receiver core. They have been really, really good. And you can't hold down Kupp, Nakua. Those guys are going to be flying all over the place. They'll be making plays. So I think the Rams offense, Sean McVay will have some things going for them. I mean, they put up 28 points last week in what seemed like a get-right game against the New England Patriots. 4 touchdowns by Stafford. So I think that there's some things to get excited about if you're a Rams fan in this offense. They have a tough division that they need to be competitive in, so that's a motivating factor. They're right there within the mix with everybody else, so that's going to get them up to play. So they're going to put up points. Over 48.5 is my other best bet within this game. Joe says, wouldn't be surprised if the top is 38-22 Eagles again. Yeah, I mean, that would be actually a perfect outcome for my best bet. So let's go with that. Let's go with that.
I'm nervous about your over.
I think it's going to be close, but I mean, the Rams have to be able to put together something.
Part of me this week thought about just whatever I thought in my best bets, I just do the opposite. Just if this week goes sour, then I'm just going to do it next week. So you might be really good.
Yeah.
On your own.
We should. You know what we should do next week? If we have a bad week this week, Scotty, next week we should do our. I'll send you my best bets, like legit best bets that we would normally do. You send me yours, and we'll literally flip them and see how we do. We'll see.
4-0 week.
4-0 week.
4-0 week.
Yeah. Let's just fade every best bet that we think is going to happen. So there you go. Either way, we'll be watching this one Sunday night here in the Action Lab. All right, let's get to the next one. Steelers and Browns. As always, we'll let Rec start out and take us away on Steelers and Browns.
So me and Chris talked a lot about this game before the stream. So, Sky, guess who's trying to tell the other one to fade the Steelers?
I'm going to guess it's ironic, so you.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of trends that are pointing against against Pittsburgh. This isn't my best bet, but there's a lot of things going on in this game. Like, riddle me this. What happens when you combine bad weather with AFC North football?
Bad football.
Yeah, a lot of bad football, a lot of ground and pound. So there's a lot of player props I really like in this one, like Jameis under 34 pass attempts, especially if it's snowing as bad as they say it will. With that, Nick Chubb over 14 rushing attempts, I like that a lot. It's like the only reason why I won't go ahead and pick the Browns is because it's the Browns. They're still not a great football team, so I can't just like go in it all the way.
Okay.
Well, I'll do it for you then.
Yeah, I know. That's another reason why I can't do it, because you're doing it.
Yeah. It's one of my bets of the week without knowing your thoughts on this game, Rec.
Yeah.
I'm on Browns +4. It's a short week, going on the road, cold weather. You had a huge, massive win against Baltimore this past weekend.
Yep.
If the Browns are going to take one game seriously, this is the one they're going to do it. They're on national TV against the Steelers team they hate. There was a little, press conference stuff with like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt this week going a little back and forth. I think the Browns are going to be focused for this one, and I think the Steelers offensively might struggle in this one. So I actually got it at 4, not 3.5, but I have Browns +4 in a game that I honestly think the Browns could win outright.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Listen, I think the Steelers are getting better and better, but like this is a bad spot for them, and a great spot for the Browns. And I really, really think. Although I will say, Rec, real quick, did you hear Roethlisberger on his like whatever podcast he's on this week talk about how Tomlin's just out coaching guys like Harbaugh left and right this year?
Yeah. Like he definitely has Harbaugh's number. Fucking 8 of the last 9, I think it is now.
Just out coaching guys. Just out coaching guys.
Black Market. We haven't talked NFC North yet. Not yet.
A big trend in this game, unfortunately. Tomlin is 2-8 on the road on Thursday Night Football straight up, and including I think it's 0-7 against the division. So you have a real bad spot.
Oh my gosh. betting
It's just
farm right now.
just-
Yeah.
Bet the farm. There's a reason why it went down from 4 to 3.5. Actually, it opened up, I think, at 4.5, and that number wasn't available very long. It went south pretty quick. But weather will be a factor in this game. I think there looks to be rainy/snowy weather. So that's going to be a big issue for quarterbacks in this game. The under, it ticked down from 37 to 36.5. So that's another reason why I could see this being like a 20 to 13 game. This could be a low scoring, non-eventful. Plus, that being said, some of the trends towards, team total, Cleveland under the team total of 16.5 feels decent. Plus, anytime you have a low scoring game, getting points is always probably the right way to go. Generally, not all the time, but generally. So I would be on your side. Cleveland seems like the right side for me. The total, as low as that is, maybe it's still under. I don't know. That seems
gonna be a big Chubb night.
it's a bit.
Yeah.
Big Chubb night.
Chubb.
Breastmo's
Spicy.
black market Breastmo's like, why are the Browns beating the Steelers? Well, situation plus, let's keep in mind the Browns beat the Ravens. They're 2-8, but one of their wins is against the Ravens.
Those
They
AFC
care
North
about
games.
those AFC North games.
Yeah.
And the Steelers also
lost.
do like to kind of overlook bad teams.
They lost to the Bengals by 7, the Browns did, in their other AFC North matchup. But keep in mind, that's with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. They've upgraded since then.
they
And
have gotten
they've
better.
upgraded the running back spot with Big Chubb.
Yes. So it doesn't, when you look at these two teams, you see a really good team from a record standpoint. You see a really bad team from the Browns on that standpoint. But you dig deeper and you can start seeing some things that might not be living up to those just optics of just the pure record. Cleveland Browns on the money line plus 154 right now. So that's actually gone towards them in that down from 164. So people are buying into the Browns a little bit on this. The line moved and the money line moved. Don't be shocked, ladies and gentlemen, if you see an interesting outcome Thursday Night Football.
I think the
A
Browns.
classic Tomlin game.
I think the Browns win this game.
It's very possible.
Ooh. We'll find out tomorrow night. Check it out. All right, let's get to the Niners and the Packers. Let's dive into this one. The Niners are on the road visiting the Green Bay Packers. This game is now 1.5. It was 2.5, now down to 1.5 in favor of the Green Bay Packers. 47.5 the over-under total. Minus 134 for the Packers to win this game. Scotty, Packers at home. The Niners don't look like the Niners that we have been used to seeing over the last couple seasons. Missing Ayuk. They are figuring out things offensively. They got Christian McCaffrey back, but hasn't just quite looked the same. The Packers get some home field advantage here. First of all, they have one of the better home field advantages, but what are your thoughts on the 49ers?
I mean, I keep waiting for the Niners to wake up, right? Because the talent on the roster is there. And it's just not happening, Chris. And time is running out. Like, you're 5-5 now. You're almost who you are at this point. You have at Green Bay, at Buffalo next week. You still have a matchup at Arizona. You still have Detroit on your schedule. Like, it's not an easy schedule to close either. If you're the San Fran. I think they might lose the playoffs. Now, these are teams I can't bet San Fran because I keep going. I'm like, this is the week they'll wake up, and they just don't. So I can't bet them. Green Bay, to me, squeaking by right now. Like, they've won some close games. Obviously, the blocked field goal against Chicago last week gets them the win in a game they were close to losing. Listen, counts as a win when teams block last-second field goals, Chris. It still goes in a W column. I don't know if you knew that.
Now I do.
So, like, they're winning. But I keep waiting to see the Packers of, like, the playoffs last year, and I don't think we've seen that team yet. So I kind of want to fade Green Bay at the same time in a situation, but in this game, I'll just sit back and watch and probably hope that Green Bay wins, because I would love the Niners just not make the playoffs. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah. Well, and the marquee matchups for Green Bay haven't exactly gone their way. They've lost to Detroit, they've lost to Minnesota, and they lost to Philly. Everything else on their schedule is they are games they probably should be winning. The Chicagos, the Jacksonvilles, the Arizonas, Arizona's okay.
Texans. I mean, there's some wins there.
Tennessee, Indy that was early on. So they need to win a marquee matchup. Is San Francisco a marquee matchup based off of? I mean, I would say yes. They present a pretty good challenge here. So if the Packers win this one, I think they're getting a little bit more confidence back, especially with the tough schedule with Miami getting right after this, Detroit after Miami. So the next 2-3 weeks for the Packers are kind of tough. So that being said, maybe for me, I lean maybe a Packers money line. I don't have a best bet in this one. The 49ers red zone offense is brutal. They're I think they're fourth worst, one of the worst fourth quarter teams in the NFL. And they just, I'm still waiting for the optics of them to really click, especially with Christian McCaffrey. Maybe they do. Maybe this is the week, but it's in Green Bay, and there's a nice little home field advantage there. So Matt LaFleur, 25-5 straight up at home versus teams outside of the NFC North. San Francisco on the road. Well, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but that could play a factor. So maybe a lean towards Packers money line, but nothing else. The fact that a lot of people like the Niners in this one, another option you can do. We talked about the teaser in the last. What was the last game that we were talking about? What was it?
The teaser game you liked?
Oh yeah,
Eagles Rams.
Oh, was it Detroit? I think it was Detroit.
I think the
Yeah,
teaser
it was
game
Detroit. Minus 7.5 to just a half.
Yeah, so Detroit.
One and a half.
Detroit teased with the 49ers could be an interesting play, but 49ers, up to 7 plus 7.5 right now. So I don't know. Interesting. I don't know if maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit on that, but I did not mean to push any of those sound drops. So
I don't believe you.
Usually a bet like that isn't spicy, Chris.
Yeah,
it's not spicy.
No, it's not spicy.
You're moving a line. It's the opposite of spicy.
Yeah, not exactly. So there you go.
I do have the Packers as my best bet, minus 2.5. Just don't trust the Niners anymore. I'm talking about them being the worst fourth quarter team. Like the Packers could it could be a 1-possession game. Like Niners lead by 3, Packers easily go down, score, win, and cover. Like if it's a close game, Green Bay looks to be the right team.
Yeah,
2.5. I feel like you gotta go against San Fran.
This is a big one, but Green Bay also does play on Thursday, so they play Thursday night against Miami.
Also, welcome in Leaking Diaper.
Hey,
My man.
This is the 7 seed battle. Maybe. I mean, I think certainly if the 49ers. Well, the 49ers' best option to make the playoffs is, frankly, winning the division, which would get them a top 4 seed. But the Green Bay is looking pretty good to make the playoffs, even if they lose here. So there's some separation in the NFC. You have right now Washington's the 7 seed at 7-4, and then you get down to 5-5 at the 8 seed. So there's a little bit of separation there at least. Game and a half at least, and Washington has what appears to be a very winnable game this week. So,
Leaking Diaper, who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit, guys. Welcome in. If you guys are new, it's good to have you here. Like to have you back. We will be back live tomorrow talking some NBA, and then also Sunday Night Football. We will be live starting at halftime of the game. So make sure you tune in to that as well. We'll recap all the games on week 12. But welcome in.
Packers almost lost to Bears in the fourth quarter. For sure. We talked about that. I don't think the Packers are playing great right now by any stretch of the imagination. And I'd like to fade them, but I don't. The Niners just can't wake up. They're just, they feel like they're disjointed, and I don't know if coming off another Super Bowl loss is just flustered them, but they're not playing up to the level of their talent in the roster. And I don't know if they will this year.
83% of the public and 83% of the money is all on San Francisco, which also trends to Green Bay potentially being the side. So just keeping that out there. Leaking Diaper, Lions. Okay. Welcome in. You're having a fantastic year. Is this the year, Leaking Diaper? Is this the year you guys get it all out there and win a Super Bowl? Is this it?
I'm gonna guess he responds with yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he should be excited.
San Francisco, number 2, fourth quarter scoring offense on the road. Okay.
All right.
I've been here since before Barry. It's fucking time. It's hey, you've paid your dues. You've paid your dues. This is enjoy this season, Leaking Diaper. Enjoy this season. I think my preseason pick was Lions in the Super Bowl. Lions Chiefs Super Bowl was what I had.
Oh, we should both be concerned then.
We maybe. All right, so there you go. Those are all the games that we wanted to preview for this week. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the best bets of the week, and see where we go. Again, if we have a bad week this week, we're just gonna do opposite. We're gonna fade everything. So all right, Scotty, run down yours real quick. I think we talked about every single game.
All 4 of these.
Yes.
No, all 4 of mine. I've talked about, but just as a reminder, I got Chargers +3 Monday night against Baltimore, Philly -2.5 Sunday night against the Rams, Indy +7.5 against your Lions. Sorry, Leaking Diaper. I'm sure they win. I just don't know if this feels like a trap spot where Detroit doesn't look at this game with what they have on the horizon too much. And Cleveland +4 tomorrow night. That might be my favorite one. I think they win outright against the Steelers. And people think I'm just betting against Rec and hating on the Steelers. I've had the Steelers at least the last 2 weeks as one of my best bets of the week, and they've hit both times. So
Steelers are my kryptonite, and I have my 8-week chip for not betting Steelers, which is great. So I'm going to keep that going. All right. So I talked about Denver -4. Line is actually now 6.5. Feel like 4 is a really good spot that this is going to, it's a nice little cushion on what the number is currently at. So I'll take that. I got Philly and Los Angeles Rams over 48.5. I think the Rams, their offense will continue to get better and click. Philadelphia will still give up some points, but I still think Philly's going to put up a ton of points. So that's going to be there. And then also, I'm with you on Philly -2.5 in that game. My only one I didn't talk about it just highlights 2 good teams against 2 really bad teams. And it's a teaser. I teased down Miami to 1.5. All they got to do is beat the Patriots at home. And I got Houston Texans -1.5. Or, well, now it's kind of ticked down. So I got -2.5, but it's actually 1.5 now. Houston, I'll leave it at 2.5. I still think I feel comfortable there. Houston should win this game. Houston is the home team going up against the Tennessee Titans team that's just abysmal. So all they got to do is basically win those games. Houston and Miami. There you go. Those are my best bets of the week. We're going to hopefully improve on what we did last week. Let's get to the chat here. The football gods have spoken. I'm going to enjoy the Vikings and Packers collapse almost as much as our Super Bowl win. Yeah, I'm old balls. You know what, Leaky Diaper? Maybe is that why the screen name is what it is? Is that you're a little old enough to get into
the
Just like
rivals,
Scotty.
and maybe the Packers collapse would be good, but the Vikings are kind of in your boat. Like you're both just. I know you're rivals in the NFC North, but neither has a Super Bowl to their name. Maybe just some sympathy for them, but you're also not winning a Super Bowl this year because my Chiefs are repeating, so it's fine. It's fine.
Leaking. You'll be happy to know that I do have the Bears as another best bet, plus 3.5 against the Vikings.
Well, let's talk about that because I think
he would be happy to know.
Black Market wants to talk about his Vikings here. Bears, Vikings. So yeah, Rec. You said Bears plus 3.5.
Yes.
And you feel confidence. You feel really good about that.
Yes, I feel great about it. It's like you always see with the Vikings. It's like I brought it up before. Like again, they go 5-0, and then they struggle for a lot of the season. This is not the first time the Vikings have seen this. This has been a common trend for them. So the Vikings collapsing is not out of the question. Again, there's still like the Bears with the new offensive coordinator. I mean, obviously he had a good week last week. Let's see if he can keep that up. Plus 3.5. I think the Bears can at least cover that pretty easily. The Vikings only won by 10 against the Titans, who were pretty much dead. Like, I feel really good about Chicago at least covering at home in a division matchup.
I just worry about how Chicago trying to beat Green Bay for the first time in forever, and you lose that game in devastating fashion. Do you bounce back? The last time they lost a game in devastating fashion on that Hail Mary to the Commanders, they followed it up with a loss by 16 at home to the Patriots, and then a blowout loss at the Cardinals, followed by a blowout loss against the Patriots. So that's my concern there. Is like I'm not high on Minnesota. I think they're sneaking by in a lot of games. I think they got a great whistle last week against Tennessee. Really, I should have hit on a bet on Tennessee on that game where they just got screwed out of a lot of big plays on like questionable calls at best. I don't think the Vikings are anywhere near 8-2 good right now. So I don't mind fading the Vikings. I just don't know how the Bears respond in a season that's slowly going downhill. They're now 4-6. The third place team is 7-3 in the division. They're out of the playoff possibilities. Do they bounce back, or do they just kind of mail it in at this point? I don't know.
Speaking of mailing it in, we haven't talked about the Giants.
Well,
Daniel Jones all the way to QB4.
Real quick, I just want to touch one more thing on the Bears Vikings. Bears defense top 5 in defensive EPA, best in the NFL in EPA per pass. So that's going to be a little tough for the Vikings, especially if they're playing to the top of their abilities defensively. Sam Darnold since week 5, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 89.3 passer rating. This game opened up at 4.5, went straight down to 3.5, which means, the money came in on the Bears. So yeah, this will be, I don't know if I have a good enough feel of this one. The Broncos lost to the Chiefs, right? In that dramatic fashion, followed up the next week with confidence saying, I played with the big boys and we had a chance to win. To carry that momentum over, I don't know if that's the same situation as the Bears and Packers. I think the Packers were a little bit more on the other end of this. The Bears were on the other end of feeling confident, playing that well against they just wanted to win and they just came up short. Different levels. So I'm staying away from it, but I can see your points though. I can see the points. The Vikings are 1-1 on 2-point games and have won by more otherwise, says Black Market. Bears offense has nowhere to go but up. True. I mean, the Bears haven't really been consistent offensively. So that's a learning curve for, Caleb Williams. And this could be, I think it could be a close game. If any kind of division close games, I lean the points. Give me the points.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, Vikings could win this game. By 3.5. Not sure. Ishtacomic, isn't that one of the 12 steps? Yeah, it is.
Keep in mind the Bears do have to rebound and play on Thursday. So
yep.
They're at Detroit on Thursday in a game on national TV they probably care more about than this one, frankly.
Look ahead spot potentially. So Bears offense can go sideways.
By the way, our Thanksgiving lineup.
Thanksgiving
and part of that leads into what you just mentioned, Rack, about the Giants. Giants are tanking. They're trying to get a quarterback. It's fine. Daniel Jones goes from number 1 to potentially number 4 because they signed Tommy Doyle this week to be number 3. And their backup. Oh, what? What is his name? Doyle.
DeVito.
No. The third string.
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
If you get benched for Tim Boyle, you should retire immediately.
Well, here's the issue we have with Thanksgiving, right? There's one game that's probably worth watching, and it's the late game when we're all asleep because we never make it to that game. We never make it to that game. Chicago Detroit could be an absolute blowout. The point spread on that's going to be 1 million. Then you have the marquee matchup. The marquee matchup.
Is Cold Cuts versus Rush.
Super Cooper.
What are we doing? I mean, I know this is set before the season, but what a shit game. Just so bad.
It's not good.
I've never wanted to watch a game on Thanksgiving less than that.
I just can't look forward to it anymore, or at least this year. I just can't look forward to Thanksgiving. We already know.
I'll be in a pool in Mexico, maybe in the ocean beach. So I'll avoid this game. But
I'd rather hear what the food lineup is instead of watching these games. They're just. It's gonna be bad, guys. I'm sorry. And again, the best game is after everyone's asleep. At 6:20 p.m. 6 or 8 on the East Coast. Everyone's gonna be asleep. Cowboys should be replaced with Oregon. That's leaking down. Maybe can we flex out Dallas and New York and put the best college football game on Sunday or on Thursday for Thanksgiving? Can we just do that?
I'm good with it. Any other game.
Any other game.
SCG, I'd rather hear what the food lineup is instead of watching these games.
That's what Chris said.
Chris on Thanksgiving isn't even gonna eat. He's just gonna wait until it's leftovers.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he'll get after it.
That's
his number one thing on Thanksgiving is just leftovers, not even the meal at all.
I did get STG to buy into Thanksgiving Day quesadilla or leftover quesadillas, which is one of the most underrated things for leftovers. You little cheese, little turkey. You get the mashed potatoes. You get some stuffing. You make a thick, you get a little gravy in there as well. You make it up. Thanksgiving quesadilla the next day. Fire. Don't you got to try it. Don't hate it till you try it.
I'm not hating it. I'm just unsure of it.
But I did take it was a little bit of a reach. I could have probably left it. But we're gonna have a Thanksgiving special. Scotty won't be here, so Scotty's gonna wish you all a happy Thanksgiving now.
I'll be here on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I guess you'll be here Sunday. That's true.
Damn.
If you're drunk, you need a turkey cone. What's the turkey cone again? What is that? Let me see.
We do draft Sunday? Probably not, because we'll be watching the game and recapping everything. Probably won't have time for
Pretty late night already. Don't often do extracurriculars on Sunday night.
Yeah. Turkey and stuffing ball and tater ball in bread roll. I mean, I'm down to try. Yeah, I mean, that's turkey in stuffing ball in tater ball in bread roll. Like in a, so you know what you
like in a cone?
Can we take it a step further and bread it and deep fry it? Can we do that? I would be down for that. Let's make that happen. Can we do a draft on Sunday? SDG.
Yeah, I was just saying that's probably not going to happen.
It's
Too much stuff happening.
Yeah, there's those. Sunday night is with the recaps and everything else. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
WWE superstars. We could do. Man, that would be a fun draft actually.
I'm like old time.
All time.
Current, I would not know.
Yeah, the current I've gotten a little. I would have a little bit of an edge there. By the way, guys, maybe we can maybe save this for Sunday. Thoughts on a turducken? Have you ever had a turducken, Scotty?
Nope.
No, I haven't. I'd try it.
Seems
I don't need it.
I would, as long as I'm not having to put it together. It seems like way too much work for something that's probably just gonna be average at best. I just don't know how that would. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't. I don't know. I think all time would be interesting for WWE. I've seen turducken on Triple D. What does that mean?
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh. I see.
Turducken is the peak of civilization. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd like it.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't want to go too far down a rabbit hole, but like I think turkey's a little overrated.
It's a lot overrated.
well, you gotta. Turkey's just it's boring by itself, and you have to. I mean, you gotta throw gravy on it. You have to help it.
Like when do you
Isn't that
eat
a
turkey?
problem though?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why
on
it's not great.
Thanksgiving? When do you eat it away from that day? And when you don't have leftovers, Chris.
Hey, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. I was maybe a
I
little.
am fast.
I was too hyped on it, but don't sleep on it either. You can't go the opposite
I don't
way.
want it the first time. I didn't want it the second time.
I'm dreaming of the Wawa Gobbler right now. We don't have a Wawa. What's a Wawa?
I've been to Wawa, but I've never had the gobbler there. I imagine that's just like a Thanksgiving sandwich that they have there, Chris.
Is it weird that I was questioning
we have those
Googling that to see what would pop up in a Google search? Like Wawa Gobbler doesn't sound like something I should be Googling.
Thanksgiving. I mean, they have a lot of Thanksgiving sandwiches if you go to some places around here too. Like, get the stuffing and turkey and gravy and cranberry sauce, whatever.
See, I'm looking at this now though, and real quick, I can't do the cranberry sauce. The cranberry sauce.
I agree. I don't want it. I've never had cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving. Don't want it. Don't need it. Don't know why it exists.
Besides Thanksgiving, when do you ever have cranberry sauce?
No, it's
never.
Never.
I think the only thing that's redeeming from Thanksgiving is stuffing.
Yeah.
I like mashed potatoes, but you can have mashed potatoes outside of that. Although I still would choose other forms of potatoes over mashed, frankly.
Substitute cranberry liquor. Like you could
hardly know her
on your sandwich.
How does that work? I've never loved this stream more. Thanksgiving is the most overrated meal of the year.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in Mexico, and they really don't. Like, we have a private chef that's not gonna be. They don't have turkey out there. Like, they don't mess around. So I'm gonna have the best Thanksgiving meal I've had probably in years this year. Because we're gonna do
it's gonna be all inclusive buffet.
We're doing surf and turf.
Oh,
for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, because you're not at an all-inclusive. You're at your own spot. That's
Yep.
and you got a
Yep.
chef.
We tell the chef what to make us.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
Chop chop on the turkey.
Yeah. And yeah, Mexicans don't eat turkey, right?
I don't. Not that I'm
Jesus.
Leaking going out on a limb there.
Equals straight.
Bruh.
Potentially. I won't go there, but I'm also not gonna say no.
Scotty, going big Hollywood with a private chef. Look at you. I mean,
It comes with the place, so it's like included.
yeah.
Usually.
Guys, we might have to talk a lot more food. Some of you guys are new, leaking diaper, and then Black Market. You guys have missed out on all of our sandwich debates.
Yeah. So for all of you new people, is hot dog a sandwich?
No, we're closing out the show.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Don't worry. You know, ironically enough, I think that even though this is a sports show, I think you guys like the food debates and conversations
Definitely.
more than anything we talk about sports wise. Forget the NFL, forget the NBA. Just talk food for 3 hours and let's make it happen. Let's just do a food stream. We'll might be our biggest stream ever. Just saying. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap things up here on a Wednesday night. But tomorrow, again, we'll be doing an NBA stream. I got my power rankings for the first part of the season, at least up until we might just do like who's playing the best recently. Hey, Leaking Diaper, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Great to have you as part of our community. By the way, Discord, there you go in the chat. We are always talking food in the Discord too. We have a recipe section, but talking sports if you want to join in there as well. I enjoyed your MLB food episode, Stadium Food. That Stadium Food was a fun one. We'll bring that back again. Don't worry. Hot dog probably isn't a sandwich unless the bun accidentally rips in half, but we need to dive deeper. Oh, Black Murky, you missed you had just wait. Wait.
Wait, do you want me to send you the sandwich alignment chart?
No.
And also, do you want me to send you that lawsuit from Indiana that states that tacos and burritos are sandwiches?
I mean, we
Doesn't it was a small little town that's got idiots in it. Idiots.
repost rec in our Discord. It'll force people to go to the Discord. Post the sandwich chart in the Discord, and we're gonna have some conversations after we go offline, and then the rest of this week probably. So check it out. Rec's gonna post it in the Discord. ! Discord in the chat. By the way, I can't type. There you go. And then also, I am going to be posting our preview and best bets on our YouTube channel, but we have all of our other socials there as well. So go to our YouTube channel, check out everything in case you missed it, and you'll have it there for you anytime you want to revisit. But that's going to take us to the end of the show. Let's get out of here. Let me go ahead. Let's run the credits for all of you guys who were new to the show or just doing special things throughout the show. You guys all do special things every show, but some of you guys are more special than others.
What does that even mean?
Nobody knows, but it's provocative.
It's communism.
But it's provocative.
Communism.
It gets the people going.
Everyone's equal, but some are more equal than others.
Correct. Some of you are special.
Maybe one day we do a ranking of our viewers show.
Ooh.
Because you're not all equal.
That'll be for the next Action Lab anniversary.
By the way, we're coming up on another anniversary, December 18th. What's December 18th? What is that?
That's a Wednesday.
That's
Ooh.
the 18th of December.
A Wednesday. We'll have to plan a
the community member
special celebration. So that we got to start planning for that too. We'll make sure. We'll have a fun, happy. What birthday is this? Is this
4, I think.
4. We're 4 years old. The stream is.
We're technically we're 4 years, so we're turning 5. Is that how it works?
No,
Last year
this
was
is the 4th birthday.
4th birthday.
Yeah.
Of the show. Since we started it, and we've absolutely enjoyed every single one of you that has been here to support us through those 4 years. So thank you guys. We can't do the show without you. You make every night that much more special and spectacular. Otherwise, it's just me and Scotty and Rec just doing it, whatever it is that we do.
STG says, can we do a ranking of producers or mods about to get banned? Yeah, we could. It would just be a short one.
That would be a quick one. That would be a quick one.
Scotty 1, list over.
I'm not. I'm the talent, Rec. You're just the behind the scenes guy. Okay. And we'll keep you there, even though you're trying to.
I don't know if you are the talent.
Change your look.
I don't think the talent would tell everyone wrong information on their bets.
Rec, you literally finished last year. What are you doing right now? What are you doing?
And you're literally finishing last this year.
Okay, so we both suck, Rec. What are you doing?
I don't suck this year, and I got a job giving out advice on betting.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to hate on your job.
All right, we are going to send you over to DJ Epic for the wind down. And we are going to have you guys just play some chill vibes over there. Let me go ahead and put the raid in here.
Cuban says he's lived every minute and also loved. And thank you, Cuban. Cuban would be right up there at the top. Cuban's been here for a long time. We love Cuban.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are OGs. I probably need to add more. I need to add more VIPs. I think Keep Close is always in here.
Yeah.
I
SCG,
think.
thank you. I bring heel vibes. That's what I do. That's my purpose.
You know what?
I'm the heel of the show. I know that.
Interestingly enough, it's like you're the Travis Kelce. I'm the Jason Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Like we have like what you said earlier. What was the other comparison?
Don't remember what I said.
I forget. Anyways, yeah, we have a good dynamic in here. We have a good dynamic.
You're the white version of Speeds and the Benchmark.
Yeah, we're
Black market. Rec is the Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't want to date Scotty. Ill. Fuck that.
You're just sitting you're just cheering us on from the sidelines, Rec.
Basically.
Don't you forget it.
Guys, sorry, Brendan. I'll raid you next time. I promise. All right, locked in. We're raiding Brendan next time. Sorry, I already sent the raid. But guys, first of all, go follow Brendan. Click on his profile. Go follow him and go watch him right now as well. He is fantastic. Chris is always trying to be the good guy. I'm always, and Scotty is the person people dislike for his takes and comments. It works magically. It's like a baby face and a heel in wrestling, right? We kind of like, balance each other out. You have to have one of each, and it ends up working, right? Like, we can't have two heels, we can't have two baby faces, then it wouldn't be fun. And then
I know my role. I like being hated.
Should we reverse roles one time? Should we just reverse?
I don't think you have the ability to reverse roles.
Could you do it, Chris?
Oh,
I don't think play the other role. Could you play the other role?
Give me 4 or 5 shots of tequila before we jump on, and we'll be good to go.
But here's the thing: it's easy to troll Scotty. It's not as easy to troll you.
Maybe.
It's so easy to get under Scotty's skin.
Well, it's just really bad takes, Rack.
Like even when they're fake and done to troll, and but it still upsets you to hell and back.
But see, no one ever expects the baby face to turn heel. No one ever expects it. So maybe, go NWO. Yeah, maybe one day I'm just gonna come in spicy as shit, and we're gonna flip it. I'm gonna turn heel, and we'll see.
I'll just be the face that leads the show on and is disagrees with everyone.
the voice of reason.
Or I don't even know if that's what. Maybe I can't do the face. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of us. I think both of us. I think there's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sky tries to be nice, and then he sees one Chiefs hate take and just forgets about the role entirely.
Well, anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Maybe we'll play with that one day. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. If you don't join us tomorrow for the NBA show, have a great rest of your week. And then we will see you back here Sunday night. Be a good person between now and Sunday, or now and tomorrow, and go live in the moment. We don't do that enough. Put the phone down, enjoy the people and things around you. Go give DJ Epic some love. Love you guys.
As the heel, I hate every single one of you.
Yeah. Screw you guys. Screw you guys.
I hate you so much. Have a good night, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you back here on Sunday. Or me on Sunday. We're gone.
Bye, everybody.
And we're gone.